High School 4A Championship Final. Tonight's championship matchup pits the Wagoner Bulldogs against the Clinton Red Tornadoes.
Well, good evening, everybody. Good afternoon. Myron Patton here along with the coach Bob Cortez, and we've got a great matchup here for you. A game involving a couple schools that are just one win away from a dream to win a state championship. But of course, Coach, they know that dream won't come easy because it's going to be a tough win to get.
Well, you know, you got two different types of programs right here. You got a program that last year was 2-8. Wagoner was 2-8. Got a new coach in there, and now he's playing for a state championship. And then you got Clinton, who is the defending state championship 4A from last year, and they're back in the championship game. So you got two programs that have come different ways, but they're both here, and they're both going to play this afternoon for the gold ball.
Of course, a couple of communities in Clinton and Wagoner that have a lot to be proud of outside of just their football teams. They both have a lot of tradition. Let's look at the Bulldogs profile here. Of course, grades 9 through 12, an enrollment of 625. The head coach, Dale Condict, you mentioned quite a turnaround he has engineered. They've got a state championship in their past, 1945, a while back, but of course, one that they're just as proud of. No doubt about that. Now, as far as Clinton, championships kind of come in droves with them. If you look at what they've been able to do down through the years, they've always had a powerful running team, a team that put up a lot of points, a lot of guys who went on to play elsewhere, but their profile also just as impressive. Again, 9 through 12th grades, 518, one of the smaller schools in Class 4. That's one reason they're going down to 3A next year. Mike Lee is their coach. 15 seasons he's been there. And there you see they've got a bunch of state championships, Coach.
Yeah, that's Coach Lee, you know, and Coach Lee had tremendous success and support in Clinton, and he's the favorite today going into this ball game. And I asked Coach Condit, the coach from Wagoner, I said, do you think this is a David and Goliath type of game? And he said, oh, no, I don't. He said, we're pretty close to them. He said, we got some speed at positions they don't, and they have some speed at some positions we don't. He said, I think if we play well today, he said, we'll give them all they want and maybe come out with the victory. Very confident for a first-year coach turning a program around from 2-8 last year to where he is this year.
Well, certainly we're going to take a more in-depth look at both these two schools, what they have to offer against each other. But first, let's hit that first break. Back with more. You're watching KSBI TV, Oklahoma's sports station.
To order a VHS or DVD copy of this or any game, please send a $25 check or money order with your name, address, and telephone number to KSBI TV, 1350 Southeast 82nd Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73149. Please specify which game you are ordering and if you would like a VHS or DVD. Southwestern Christian University in Bethany, where working adults are able to earn their college degree. If you are looking for a Christian adult environment and have 24 hours towards your degree, then call Southwestern Christian University today, 470-2636. Let us show you how to complete your goal of a college degree by attending class just one night a week. Southwestern Christian University in Bethany, where working adults are able to earn their college degree.
Betty, do my stripes make me look plump? Kind of brie-ish?
Are you still worried about that?
Not my own material? Too much cheddar, not enough jack?
Well, at least you're sharp.
Taco Mayo's new tamale melt. 2 hand-rolled tamales smothered with savory chili and cheddar jack cheese, then fresh broiled to perfection. That seems too fussy to some. We're sorry, but we won't be out-freshed.
Is orange my best color?
Get used to it, honey.
Taco Mayo. We won't be out-freshed.
If you missed Hello Oklahoma this week, you missed a lot. Watch Hello Oklahoma weekday mornings from 6:30 to 8 on KSBI.
Tonight's game, or today's game, brought to you in part by Bar S Foods. Bar S Foods proudly supports the Clinton Red Tornadoes in their quest for another state football championship. Bar S Foods and Clinton High School are a winning combination. And Howe Chevrolet Nissan, where the Big Indian stands in Clinton. See all of our new and used inventory at HoweNissan.com or call 1-800-396-HOWE. Howe Chevrolet in Clinton, that's 1-800-396-HOWE. And Consumer Textile Corporation. CTC is your source for a complete line of linen and uniform rental, plus janitorial equipment and supplies. We provide Western Oklahoma with entrance mats, dust mops, aprons, towels, table linens, and much more. Call CTC at 1-800-926-5646. We deliver satisfaction. Here's a look at the officials for this afternoon's game. We've got Don Thomas, Gary Easley, Eric Herring, Ronnie Robinson, and Scott Hildebrandt. All did a good job, obviously, to be at this point in the season. And welcome back. Of course, Clinton versus Wagoner, our 4A final this afternoon. The first of two final games we'll have here on KSBI TV. Tulsa Cassia Hall taking on Tuttle later on tonight. But as far as this game, when we look at Wagoner, you mentioned earlier a team that was just 2-8 a year ago, 11-2 now. They've made quite a turnaround.
Where the big turnabout has come is on defense. Last year they were terrible on defense. When Coach Condit got here, he brought in a new defensive coordinator. That gentleman was able to put a defense together that has been very confusing for coaches in 4A level, and has got them to a point where they got a chance to win the ball game. They averaged 9.8 points a game. The unfortunate thing is that the Red Tornadoes, Clinton, is giving up 5 points a game. So it's both teams play very good defense. We talk about the offense, but both teams are more predicated to winning games because of a strong defense.
Here's a look at the Wagoner offense. Tristan Ketcher was questionable with a wrist injury, but he will play today. Darrell Parker, one of their fine running backs. Paul Richardson at fullback. Julian Sherman, a two-way player. Everett Shaver and Curtis Travis, the tight end. The rest of the starting lineup up front, we've got Joseph Muse, Kevin Garcia, Russ Coulter, Tyler Lannon, and Trey Edwards. The offensive line, all very good. Now here are the defensive starters. Daniel Thornburg, Jordan Edison, Travis there. It's also the starting tight end, Joseph Muse, Edwards, and Zach Cox, a 5'11", 215-pound nose guard. Shaver, Garcia, Sherman, Sean Ballard at strong safety, and Jermaine Sherman there at free safety, the rest of the starters for the Wagoner Bulldogs.
A couple of players that you need to keep your eye on is for Wagoner. You need to watch number 7, the quarterback, Andrew Cuthray's, Ketcher, excuse me. Tristan Ketchner, excuse me. And he's the quarterback for Wagoner, and I'll get his name straightened out here before we get going today. But he's a guy that doesn't get you in a lot of trouble. He's very good at deception and hiding the football on his play-action passes and his faking. And the coach feels that if he doesn't turn the ball over today, they'll have an excellent opportunity to win the ball game. He's not sure they're going to throw the ball very well because of the wind. Hopes that the running game will be able to stay in there and keep the Bulldogs in close to the Red Tornadoes so they have a chance to win it at the end of the game. Tanner Jones is a defensive linebacker, defensive back kind of guy, strong safety, who really does a good job and is also one of their top players on returning balls. He's got great hands. He's a guy that some of the Division II schools are looking at and might have a chance to play sometime in the near future on Saturdays.
Earlier, Jeff Roberts, our sideline reporter, had a chance to catch up with Wagoner head coach Dale Condit.
Well, we're down here with Coach Condit, and I tell you, this is impressive, and everybody's been talking about, you made this statement at preseason. We can be in the playoffs after going 2-8 the year before, and you're here.
After evaluating our players and their work ethic in the spring, we felt very good about our chances of making the playoffs. And then as the season progressed and we continued to improve, after the Glenpool and Miami game, we felt like we could play with anyone. So, would we have guessed this last March? Probably not. But as the season went on, yes, we did.
All right. Now, obviously, Clinton's been here before. You guys haven't been in a while. So what do you tell the kids to be ready for this game?
Well, personally, I've never been here. So great atmosphere. You just tell them to keep doing what got them here. Don't let the atmosphere get to you. Play the game that got you to this point and let the cards fall where they may.
So how do you feel like you match up against Clinton? Is it going to be a David and Goliath? You guys match up pretty good.
Well, I think we can match up with them. It's very similar, but again, I think that we can play with anybody in Class 4A, so we'll just have to see.
All right.
Well, certainly he has done a tremendous job this season for Wagoner and getting them to this point. We're going to hit a break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll get a closer look at the Clinton Red Tornadoes right after this timeout. Field as we get set for this 4A matchup between the Wagoner Bulldogs and the Clinton Red Tornadoes. And when you talk Clinton football, you talk championships. They're used to being to this point in the season, Coach.
Well, you know, it's amazing how much they have won. You know, we looked at a team last night in Tulsa Union, and that was a team that was nationally known because of the great success they had. Well, Clinton is also nationally known for as many championships as they have had. Coach Lee's had great success there. The community, very, very supportive. They got a program rolling, and every year they're going to be a contender. And dropping down to 3A next year, I think, is really going to be an asset for them.
Here's the starters for the Red Tornadoes as the quarterback bear, Ans Hansley, along with Cameron Glad, a sophomore fullback, Antonio Hudlin, just a freshman tailback. You're going to love watching him. Tanner Jones, the starting tight end. Grant Phillips, one of the main receiving targets for Ans Hansley, and Dwayne Barker, also at a wideout position. Up front, Matt Lance, Austin Stoner, Bo Lee, Jordan Graft, and Kenny Lee make up the starting five in that offensive line. On defense, Trenier Collins, Paul Adams, Stoner, Graft, Seth Reed at a defensive end, and Tanner Jones at a linebacker. In the rest of the linebackers, Braden Lockhart, Garrett Casper at a strong safety, Chris Pearson, Terrence McBrayer, who started out as the starting running back this season. You'll see him tonight on offense some as well, and Dwayne Barker there at a cornerback as well for the Red Tornadoes.
Here you got to look at Blake Ans Hansley. He is a great quarterback. I'll tell you what he can do, Myron. He can throw the deep pass. He has a great touch on throwing the deep ball. Some people have a knack at getting the ball in there in the intermediate zones. He can throw it deep. He's got great touch on it. He's completed over 60% of his passes this year. Only throws when he needs to. They're a running team that has a quarterback that can go deep if you get too nosy and crowd him at the line of scrimmage. And he has the arm to do that. We have seen him throw this year and does put a nice ball, a nice touch on the ball when he's thrown to his receivers downfield.
The defensive guy will be watching out for us, of course, Braden Lockhart.
Yeah, Braden's a linebacker, and Braden's not the biggest linebacker in the state, but he's very aggressive, and he has great lateral movement, does great technique. I talked to the coaches before the game, and they say he is an outstanding tackler, especially in the open field. He has 91 tackles. He leads the team in tackles, and he kind of sets the tone for that defense. So you got to keep an eye on him. He'll have a lot of tackles this afternoon because I think Wagoner is going to run the football, and you're going to find Lockhart being in the middle of a lot of tackles and a lot of piles.
Earlier this afternoon, Jeff Roberts, our sideline reporter, had a chance to catch up with Clinton head coach Mike Lee.
Well, we got Coach Lee with us, and the first question I want to ask is: it seemed like a year's already passed that you're in the playoffs again here.
Well, it's it's been a long year, but I'm proud of my kids for getting back here. We're pretty young, and this has been a pleasure.
All right, now barring all the usuals, the penalties and the turnovers, what do you got to do to make another goal ball happen for Clinton?
Well, we're gonna have to tackle their backs. They got good backs, so we're gonna have to make sure that we play good defense, especially with these type of conditions right here. And we're gonna have to be able to block them up front and run the ball. I think whoever runs the ball better today is gonna have a good chance.
It's a little bit windy down here on the field this morning. Or do you think that's going to have any kind of problem with any kind of passing or anything?
Oh, I think the wind will play a huge factor in passing and in the kicking game. Yes.
That's Coach Lee of Clinton. We're under 15 minutes before kickoff. A little windy conditions here at On Field. We're going to take another timeout. We'll come back with our pregame show. More of that right after this.
There's a new home for high school sports in Oklahoma, KSBI TV. Now you don't have to have cable to watch your favorite high school team play statewide, over the air, on satellite, and on cable through KSBI TV's statewide network. Thanks to a new partnership between SBC Yahoo, OSSAA, and KSBI TV, you'll never miss a game. Catch the exclusive finals action today with the 3A title game when Casher Hall takes on Tuttle at 7 o'clock. Only on Oklahoma Sports Station, KSBI TV. Bar S Foods proudly supports the Clinton Red Tornadoes in their quest for another state football championship. As a leader in our field, Bar S strives to bring you the highest quality meat product available. And it's no different on the playing field. With 4 facilities in western Oklahoma, Bar S Foods is one of the largest employers in this area. We are proud to sponsor local community and school activities. Bar S Foods and Clinton High School. A winning combination. Only the best is branded Bar S.
Lee's Gourmet Catering. It feels good knowing you rely on us. Call today, 946-8444.
If your fireplace is ready for a facelift or you are in the process of building and want a really beautiful fireplace, then Stone Creations is your answer. We specialize in cast stone fireplaces and have over 15 models to choose from. Stone Creations not only offers fireplace surrounds but has window and door surrounds to add that final touch to your home. Our cast stone products are the highest quality and are Oklahoma manufactured. Give us a call or come visit our showroom today, just 1 block west of I-35 and more at the corner of South 4th Street and Telephone Road. Stone Creations.
Welcome back to On Field. Myron Patton along with Bob Cortez here. Our 4A final between Clinton and Wagoner. Should be a good matchup today. And, Coach, I tell you what, if you like running football, this is your game because both teams going to run the football.
Both teams are going to run the football. You know, you'll see a pass snuck in there every now and then when somebody gets a little bit too nosy. But both teams want to run the football, and they run out of the I formation and play good pounded out type of football. You know, one of the advantages of playing here is that the players are excited about playing in this huge stadium. Now, when you look around the stadium and you see that a lot of empty seats, but, you know, the turnout is very good for both 4A schools. Both communities are supporting their school, but you put a small number of people into such a large stadium and it makes it look like the stadium is barely occupied. But right now I think the support from both towns have been very good, and they just look small because of the largeness of the stadium.
Well, an 84,000 seat stadium will do that for you. That's what the stadium here at the University of Oklahoma seats, but you're right. Both schools have brought a lot of fans, good community support, and really, if you look at the top football programs in the state, and of course these are two of them, they've got to have the good community support to be successful.
Well, you know, we did the game in Clinton this year, and I'll tell you, I was amazed at the support and the fanfare that went on with their game against Woodard. We saw them play, Weatherford.
Weatherford.
Yeah, they played Weatherford. And I was amazed at the support and the amount of people that were at that game. So, you know, Clinton has support, and that's one of the reasons why they've been so successful over such a long period of time.
Well, a couple teams that have been dreaming about this is back in the summer, doing all that workout, 2 days, everything. It all culminates right now with the state championship game. We're going to hit another break. We'll come back with more right after this.
If you're planning on building or buying a new home, make the smart choice. Use a certified professional builder.
Honey, we need to make a decision on who's going to build our new home.
Well, you know my buddy Joe builds part-time.
I don't think so. I've done some research. I think we should use a certified professional builder. They have to have insurance, and that protects us. And they must be a member of the local Home Builders Association.
Honey, you're right as usual. Let's use a certified professional builder.
Hello, pardon me. How's it going with your bank? Oh, what's the matter? Don't they pay attention to you anymore? Gee, that must really get to you. Bet you don't want to think about it anymore, do you? Probably makes you want to go ape. You should bank at Interbank. Banking that's good for you.
At Maynard & Sanders Heating and Air, we're not comfortable until you are. We service all major brands of heating and air conditioning equipment and specialize in Lennox equipment sales and service.
Now get up to a $1,000 instant discount.
Go ahead, give us a call at 636-1983 and experience our quality service for yourself. And remember, at Maynard & Sanders, we're not comfortable until you are. See our ad in the Feist.
Doppler radar. Which is the fastest? Which is the most powerful? The fact is, all stations use the same NexRad data to warn the viewers, but only one station has eyes on the ground all over the state.
I appreciate KSBI's coverage of my hometown.
Oklahoma's first and only state cam network gives you a look as severe weather approaches your home.
I just don't like all the drama you get from the other guy.
And KSBI's commitment to Oklahoma is accurate severe weather information without all the hype.
Keep it here on KSBI, your family's weather source.
Our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Alyssa Mitchell, tremendous.
Today's game brought to you in part by Blancs. For all your photography needs, visit the Blanc Studios website and check out their Christmas specials. See which of our 6 portrait studios is nearest you. Blanc Studios, photographers, members of the Professional Photographers of America. And Dottie's Bridal and Formal Wear. For special occasions in your life, choose Dottie's Bridal and Formal Wear in downtown Clinton. Dottie's is your choice for weddings, proms, and parties. Step into Dottie's today and step out in style. And Prime Vest. Prime Vest offers brokered certificates of deposit, mutual funds, retirement plans, and we can provide a free review of your current investment portfolio. Welcome back to Owen Field, folks. We got a 4A final today between the Clinton Red Tornadoes and the Wagoner Bulldogs. I'm Myron Patton, along with the coach, Bob Cortez, bringing you the action today. And Coach, I tell you what, I mentioned earlier, you know, the running game that we're likely to see, and both these teams have gotten here virtue of that. If you look at Clinton, they're 13-0. They beat Tecumseh in the first round of the playoffs. Then it was Miami knocking them off. And then Glenpool, a game that was relatively close, their closest so far, 24-14 in a win over the Glenpool.
Well, you know, the Glenpool game was one of the teams that Wagoner had played this year, and after that game, Coach Condick felt that they could play for the state championship.
Introduce yourselves here.
Let's go down the field for the coin toss.
Okay, back up just a little bit, fellas. I'd like to introduce the rest of our officiating crew. Our umpire here will be Gary Easley. Our flank officials on the west side here, Ronnie Robinson will be our line judge. Scott Hildebrand will be our back judge. On the east flank here, Eric Carrion will be our head linesman. My name's Don Thomas. I'll be your referee. Here's the coin, guys. We've already gone through this. Flip it up there. We call the coin white. And you won the toss, white. And he elected to defer. Red, you elected to defend that goal down there, so I want you to turn your backs to that goal. White, you turn your backs here. White won the toss. They elected to defer.
And there you see the coin toss. Wagoner won. They deferred. So Clinton will take the football here to start the game off. We're about 4 minutes from kickoff, folks. We're going to take a break. Back with more right after this.
To order a VHS or DVD copy of this or any game, please send a $25 check or money order with your name, address, and telephone number to KSBI TV, 1350 Southeast 82nd Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73149. Please specify which game you are ordering and if you would like a VHS or DVD.
If your fireplace is ready for a facelift or you are in the process of building and want a really beautiful fireplace, then Stone Creations is your answer. We specialize in cast stone fireplaces and have over 15 models to choose from. Stone Creations not only offers fireplace surrounds but has window and door surrounds to add that final touch to your home. Our cast stone products are the highest quality and are Oklahoma manufactured. Give us a call or come visit our showroom today, just 1 block west of I-35 and more at the corner of South 4th Street and Telephone Road. Stone Creations.
Betty, do my stripes make me look plump, kind of brie-ish?
Are you still worried about that?
Not my own material? Too much cheddar, not enough jack?
Well, at least you're sharp.
Taco Mayo's new tamale melt. 2 hand-rolled tamales smothered with savory chili and cheddar jack cheese, then fresh broiled to perfection. That seems too fussy to some. We're sorry, but we won't be out-freshed.
Is orange my best color?
Get used to it, honey.
Taco Mayo. We won't be out-freshed.
If you pay for your communication and entertainment services separately, you could be paying too much.
Unlike cable, SBC let me build a plan to fit my life at a cost that worked for me.
With cable, I couldn't get the services I wanted the way I wanted them.
The SBC family gives you more choices, like the proven reliability of SBC local and long-distance service, digital satellite TV, and high-speed internet, all for under $85 a month. Add Singular Wireless and the savings just get better. Go online now.
SBC, now joined with AT&T.
Bar S Foods proudly supports the Clinton Red Tornadoes in their quest for another state football championship. As a leader in our field, Bar S strives to bring you the highest quality meat product available. And it's no different on the playing field. With 4 facilities in western Oklahoma, Bar S Foods is one of the largest employers in this area. We are proud to sponsor local community and school activities. Bar S Foods and Clinton High School. A winning combination. Only the best is branded Bar S.
Today's game brought to you in part by SBC Yahoo DSL and Taco Mayo. We won't be out-freshed. Get an attitude for great Mexican food at Taco Mayo today. And Sonic. It's not just good, it's Sonic good. Welcome back. There you see the Wagoner bench. You know, Wagoner, they swept through their playoff portion with some wins. They beat Fort Gibson 35-zip. They won at Ada 27-0. And finally, Star Spencer scored on them, but only 6 points. But they beat Star Spencer 24-6. So they've been mighty impressive in getting to this point of the season, just like Clinton.
Now, one of the things we'll notice today is we'll see a lot of the players playing both on offense and defense. Just because these are smaller schools in enrollment, they don't have as many great athletes out, so you got to take advantage of the special athletes that you have and get them on the field a lot more than you might if you're at Union or Mustang or Norman or some of the bigger schools.
Well, we're ready for kickoff here, folks. And there it is, and it's going to make to the end zone. That means an automatic touchback, despite the fact that Julian Sherman wanted to return that. I said no. Automatic touchback in high school football if the ball makes it to the end zone. So they'll take it over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
You want somebody that wants to run the football. And that time Sherman was in the end zone. Even though he was in the end zone, he wanted to come out and run it. And that's what you look for in a running back. Somebody that enjoys carrying the football, even though he's going to get lamb-pasted a few times.
Here we go. A couple of teams that like to chew up the ground via the yardage on the ground. Looks like a busted play. Catcher keeps it, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but that looked like a busted play there.
Well, it was a busted play. I think Ketchner wanted to hand off to the fullback, and I'm not sure if he went the wrong way or the fullback went the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. It's the first game of a state championship, and the butterflies are flying. These kids have played a lot of football this year. They know the play that was supposed to be played, but because of the jitters and the butterflies that you have playing here at Big University Stadium, you sometimes miss up early in the ballgame. They'll settle down, and this will be a fine team by the end of the game.
We'll call it 2nd and 10. The ball just inching past the 20-yard line. Just a quarterback keeper right up the middle, and catcher gets about 6 yards up to the 26.
I'm not so sure that's not a check with me. I think sometime Clinton plays an even defense where they put people on the guards and they leave the center uncovered. And I think the quarterback catcher from Wagoner is able to go up and just kind of tap the center or pinch the center and say, let's run quarterback sneak. There's too much room there between us and the defensive line.
There was some question about catcher last week against Star Spencer. He hurt his wrist, but he did start practicing most of the week around about Tuesday. So he wasn't going to miss this game. He's a 3-year starter. Here's a toss sweep. Looking for room, not getting a whole lot there. Julian Sherman, the ball carrier for Wagoner, and so that's going to be 4th down, and they'll have to punt.
When you're a running team, you probably play pretty good run defense because that's all you work against all week long and during preseason and all those kinds of times. So both teams will be pretty stout against the run, I would imagine, today.
Troy Edwards, who's the one of the starting tackles, is also the punter for Wagoner. And he gets it off, and it's a short one. It's going to come down about midfield and bounce. And they will down it. We'll call it the 45-yard line, and that's where Clinton will take over, 1st and 10. Let's go down the field with our third member, Jeff Roberts.
Well, guys, I just want to let you know real quick, if you're looking at that punt there and you're thinking, man, that should have gone a lot further, let me show you something. Reach down here. It is a little windy down here. Can you see that right there? It is pretty gusty down here, so the fact that that punt went as far as it was a pretty good punt. Back up to you guys.
Well, he brings a good point. The wind is coming out of the north, and Edwards was punting directly into that wind, so that is a pretty good job considering he was going against the wind. 1st and 10, 45-yard line. Ann Hansley is your quarterback. Cameron Glad and Antonio Hudlin are your fullback and running backs. And it's a toss sweep to Hudlin, looking for running room, and actually that's McBrayer. He's got room, 40, 35. Terrence McBrayer actually getting the start there, the junior running back, 5'9", 160. He started the season as a starter, but Hudlin started getting more playing time as the things went on.
Well, you know, when you're at Clinton, you have a stable of good running backs. We saw Clinton play earlier this year, and they must have ran 3 or 4 different, besides the big fullback, they must have went with 3 or 4 different tailbacks, and each looked like they had good athletic ability.
Well, they've got some really good backs. You're exactly right about that. 1st down. Here's another, Cameron Glad, the fullback. He busts up the middle for about 3 yards to about the 30.
Well, let me tell you, Glad is a big sophomore. He's 6'1". He weighs 230 pounds, and he is the person that makes you stay honest inside. They'll try to punish you up inside and then get their tailbacks outside on the sweep.
Picks up about 3. They'll make it 2nd and 7. One receiver out to the left. Another toss sweep to McBrayer on the right side. 30, 25. He's got the 1st down. Gets down to about the 22-yard line is Terrence McBrayer.
Well, McBrayer is one of those guys that has the ability to get to the outside. He reads his blocking very well. If you see here, you'll see 2 linemen and a fullback out in front of him. And when you have 2 or 3 people out in front of you as a running back, you have to have patience and be able to follow your block.
One of their cornerbacks. He and Julian Sherman, pretty good cornerback tandem. Sean Ballard at strong safety. Jermaine Sherman, free safety. It's 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line of Wagoner. Clinton with the on the move with their first possession of the game. It's Glad. Spin move. Down to about the 15-yard line is Cameron Glad.
Clinton's offense is not brain science or
brain surgery.
Brain surgery.
Yeah.
It is. Glad's going to keep you occupied inside, and then they're going to run the sweep, and then if you really load up and stop both, then they're going to throw the ball down deep to their receivers.
On the one guy wide out right now is Dwayne Barker. He's a pretty good playmaker. It's McBrayer, though, and he is stacked up in the backfield there. Nice tackle there by number 44 for Wagoner.
Yeah, Edison, Jordan Edison, nice job coming through, getting penetration. You'll find Wagoner playing a 5-2 defense, but they do a lot of zone blitzing out of it, and you don't see much of that in high school. That's something that you see more at the collegiate level. It hasn't filtered down yet. It's still new to the high school coaches, so you don't see many high schools running that type of defense.
3rd and about 4. A long 4 for 1st down. See if they keep it on the ground. If they go to the air, it's a toss sweep to McBrayer, this time to the left. He's got a crease, and he has got the 1st down, looks like, at about the 10-yard line. Needs to get to the 12, so he's going to have a 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 10.
Well, he got slowed up in the backfield. I thought that one of the defenders from Wagoner would be able to take him down, but he was able to pull away from it. Right here, you see him break away from the tackle, and the extra 3 or 4 yards gave him the necessary yardage to move the chains.
This is what Clinton does, folks. They block, they tackle, they run, and they do it awfully well. They've got a nice drive here that started at their own 45. 1st and 10 now at the Wagoner 10. Glad. He's got a hold. He's got the end zone, maybe. Let's see. They're going to mark him just short at the 1-yard line is Cameron Glad, the big fullback.
Well, once again, He's a 230-pound fullback, and even though he's only a sophomore, he is a load. And so you've got linebackers that weigh 190, 200 pounds at the most, and they're trying to go against somebody that's running at full speed that has 230 pounds, 30 pounds more than they are. It's pretty tough to bring him down. That's why he's so successful inside.
And bringing out the change to see if he got the first down. And I'll tell you what, they ran on that left side behind Matt Lance at left tackle and Austin Stone at left guard. Bo Lee at center as well. I mean, those guys doing a good job up front. Jordan Graft and Kenny Lee, the other starters on the right side of the line.
The quarterback, Ans Hansley, is chucking the play off at the line of scrimmage. He's looking at the defense. He's finding out where they're strong, and he's running this probably the same play the other way. So in other words, if they want to run sweep left and he sees the strong safety over to the left, he's going to check it off to the right. If the strong safety's to the right, he's going to stay with it going to the left. So he probably doesn't change whether the play is being a dive or a sweep. He changes which side they're running it according to what he sees as the defense lines up against him.
You saw they were just short of a first down. Just inches away from a touchdown. Handed off to the big fullback, Glad. He's got a touchdown.
Yeah.
Cameron Glad goes over from the half-yard line, and Clinton has their first score of the day. With 6:34 to go in the first quarter, they lead 6-0.
How many passes did they throw on that drive?
How about 0?
Yeah, that's what they do. Clinton does it, and they do it very well, and that's why they've won a lot of football games over the past few years.
Cameron Glad scored the touchdown. Cameron Glad is in for the extra point. So he could rack up all 7 points on this drive. Done that a few times this season, though. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. 6:34 to go here in the first quarter. Clinton has taken their opening drive and scored. They lead 7-0. We'll hit a break. You're watching KSBI TV, Oklahoma Sports Station.
Oh, excellent. I'm going to get gingerbread blast.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good.
That's so cool for me. I'm a gingerbreaditarian.
You're a gingerbreaditarian?
Yeah, I only eat gingerbread. Gingerbread and gingerbread products, you know, food products and
That's
everything.
good, man. I'm glad you're taking a real good stance on that.
Yeah. Ooh, and tots. I'm also a tater totitarian.
Gingerbread Blast, new at Sonic. It's your favorite holiday cookie, crumbled into a delicious frozen treat. Sonic's new Gingerbread Blast. Buy a reloadable My Sonic card today and give the gift of great food.
Today's game brought to you in part by Western Technology Center, educating high school juniors and seniors and adults for over 30 years. Training Oklahomans for a global workforce. Western Technology Center, 580-562-3181. And Howe Chevrolet Nissan, where the Big Indian stands in Clinton. See all of our new and used inventory at HoweNissan.com or call 1-800-396-HOWE. Howe Chevrolet in Clinton, 1-800-396-HOWE. And Consumer Textile Corporation. CTC is your source for a complete line of linen and uniform rental, plus janitorial equipment and supplies. We provide Western Oklahoma with entrance mats, dust mops, aprons, towels, table linens, and much more. Call CTC at 1-800-926-5646. We deliver satisfaction. Welcome back to live action. 6:34 left here in the first quarter, and Clinton has taken a 7-0 lead on a touchdown by Cameron Glad. That's his 21st of the season. He came into this ball game with 886 yards. He kicked the extra point as well, and he's kicking off this time, and the ball retrieved at the 10, up to the 15, 20, 25, and tackle there. Everett Shaver on the carry there for Wagoner, and we'll see what they can do offensively.
Well, this is an important drive for Wagoner. You know, the first time they got the ball going into the wind, they had a little trouble against the strong Clinton defense, and Clinton was able to shut him out and get him the punt, and Clinton got field position and then methodically marched down the field and got their first score of the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, this Wagoner offense has a couple 1,000-yard rushers, and Darrell Parker and Julian Sherman both have gone over the 1,000-yard mark, so they've got a pretty potent rushing attack as well. This time the handoff straight up the middle to the fullback, Paul Richardson. He picks up a couple yards up to about the 32-yard line.
when you're running the I formation, as both of these teams do, both of these teams are predominantly an I team. That means they have a fullback and a tailback in behind them. You usually want to use the fullback to soften them up inside, and then use your tailback to go outside either to the left or right. Once in a while, you'll put the tailback in behind the big fullback and run it right at those linebackers.
Catcher at quarterback, one setback. And it's the handoff. He's out to about the 32 is number Darrell Parker, number 12 there on the carry. Not getting a whole lot there.
Nope, a good defense once again from the secondary support for Clinton. They were able to come up. Watch right here. Darrell is running the ball, and you see number 20 come in there and do a great job of that's Terrence McBrayer making a fine tackle in the open field on the running back.
You know, Parker would have been the starting quarterback if catcher could not have played today. He's a backup quarterback, so he fills dual roles. 3rd and long, catcher rolling out. He's got his man. That's Richardson looking for a first down. He's got a first down up to about the 45-yard line is Paul Richardson.
Yeah, nice call, play action. They've been running, and the quarterback then fakes the ball and comes out on a bootleg and is able to, right here, you watch him give a fake, comes back to his right, he's got the ball in his hand, throws the ball to the big fullback, Richardson, and Richardson's able to ramble down for the first down.
Let's hit Jeff right quick.
Real quick, guys, just want to let you know that Coach Condick had a good talk with the offense during that break and said, look, we just got to keep the drives moving, and so far it's working. Back to live action to you guys in the booth.
All right, toss sweep, looking for running room, not a whole lot there. It's Julian Sherman there. Picks up maybe a yard or two.
Great pursuit from Clinton. Clinton's linebackers are very active. They play a 5-2 defensive front, and they're able to run to the football very well. Those defensive linemen do a good job of keeping the offensive people getting to those linebackers so they can pursue laterally down the line of scrimmage.
4:14 and counting. Clinton leading 7-0 here in the first quarter. They took the opening possession and scored. 1-yard plunge by Cameron Glad. Here's a handoff on the inside. It's Sherman again. He gets into Clinton territory before being stacked up at about the 49, maybe the 48-yard line there.
Just a little counter play. You know, that's just a play that you want to keep people honest. You don't want them to think. Now Sherman was lined up at a slot back that time, and he was able to come inside underneath and take the counter play and pick up a couple of yards.
Sherman coming into this ball game, Julian Sherman, with 1,235 yards on the ground, 18 touchdowns, 6.5 average per carry for Julian Sherman. Also starts at cornerback in the secondary. That's him in motion. He takes the pitch, looking for room. He's got some there. He's got a first down. Down to about the 44, maybe the 43-yard line is Julian Sherman.
Well, that's one of their favorite plays. They put 2 slots in the ball game, and then they put one in motion, and they motion them right back to the I formation. That's just the old toss sweep that you see teams run from the I formation. They do it from a slot formation with the motion man getting a little bit of momentum as he makes the run there. That time Julian made a nice move to pick up the necessary yards for the first down.
Wagner's got a little momentum going here themselves. Nice drive. They haven't passed the ball either. It's Richardson this time, the fullback, and he busts over inside the 40 down to about the 38 yards. So they're getting about 4 or 5 yards a clip here.
Well, what they're doing is they're pretending like they're going to run that sweep, bring Julian in motion, and then they come back with a little bit of a counter the other way, and Richardson does a good job of fighting downfield to pick up almost 5 yards.
So that makes it 2nd and 6, and you get 4 yards a carry, then you're going to get some first downs. That's what they're doing. They're just stringing first downs together. They're inside Clinton territory. This time, the handoff to Darrell Parker, and he gets a couple yards to about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, the play calling for Wagner is similar to the play calling for Clinton. Both coaches try to establish the inside game, and then if it's not going because they're loaded up inside, then they go to the outside with their tosses and their sweeps. Wagner does run a little bit more counter than you'll see Clinton run. Clinton doesn't do as much misdirection, but Wagner does do a more misdirection than Clinton will.
Big third down, third and about 3 for first down. Then you get to the 32. And we've got a whistle on the play, and let's see what this is about.
Wagner was lined up unbalanced that time. They had the tight end
Timeout,
to the
White.
field.
It's their first timeout.
And their wide receiver to the short side of the field, and their slot to the short side of the field. So they were unbalanced, and I don't know who took the timeout. Did Clinton take the timeout?
No, Wagner took the timeout.
Wagner took the timeout?
They took the timeout, so with 1:46 to go in the first quarter, down 7-0, they took the timeout. And I mentioned about, the running attack is pretty balanced. Julian Sherman's our leading rusher, as I mentioned, 188 carries, 1,235 yards. Darrell Parker's carried it 205 times for 1,189 yards, 14 touchdowns. So those two guys get the bulk of the work. Then you got Paul Richardson, 87 carries, 338 yards.
Yeah, they're a running team. You're right. You're right, partner. They're a running team.
It's a physical brand of football, and so that's why I'm sure that's one of the reasons why Coach Kondick said, hey, I think we match up well with Clinton, because they do similar things.
With both teams being so one-sided to the run, this will be a quick ball game, because when you run the football, the clock continues to run, and it makes the game much quicker, goes by much faster because of the clock continuing to run during the running plays.
All right, we're back to live action. Third and about 3 for first down. That's Richardson in motion. The handoff to Parker, looking for room on the right side. He's got some. He's got a first down about the 30-yard line. It's Darrell Parker. Needed 3, he got 5.
Yeah, all Parker does is he's following Richardson from the I formation. Only Richardson's coming in motion across the formation. He gets to the fullback position. They snap the ball, and so they give you a formation but run the same plays out of different formations that keeps the defense a little bit off balance.
So first and 10 at the Clinton 30-yard line. Wagner marching. This time it's Sherman the other way in motion, and he almost lost the football there, but he got it back, picked up a couple yards.
Now, I'll tell you something. Let's see if we got a replay on this one. The quarterback on this sweep becomes a blocker. After he turns and pitches the ball to the motion man coming back into the formation, the quarterback continues around, and like the lineman, he's out in front, and he's blocking as well. Let's keep an eye on it the next time they run that play. Let's see if Ketchner is out in front throwing some blocks for his teammates.
41 seconds and counting here in the first. It's Richardson, the fullback, getting the carry. Gets up to about the 25-yard line. He picks up about 3. That's going to set up a 3rd and 5. And, Coach, we haven't seen a pass yet in this game.
Yeah, we saw one bootleg. We saw one bootleg.
Right, that picked up the first down.
Picked out the first down. Wagner threw one, but everything else has been running, and that's what we expected. You knew coming into this game, looking at the statistics and watching Clinton play and looking at Wagner's statistics, that both teams want to pound you. They want to make it a short field. They want to make sure that they got an opportunity to run the football.
Hey, that's going to wind up the first quarter, a fast first quarter with a lot of ground game by both. It's 7-0, Clinton leading Wagner. We'll hit a break. Back with more from Orange Stadium right after this.
How does your bank react when you ask for a home loan? Checking without a big balance requirement? Free online banking? How about helpful advice? A personal line of credit? Won't even listen, huh? Gee, they don't even know your name. What if you had to deal with them forever? Then come to Interbank, banking that's good for you.
Today's game brought to you in part by Southwest Interiors and Certified Travel. The store with more. From Hallmark cards and gifts to Wilton cake supplies and picture frames, you'll find it all at Southwest Interiors and Certified Travel, 521 Frisco Avenue in Clinton. And Blanc's. For all your photography needs, visit the Blanc Studios website and check out our Christmas specials. See which of our 6 portrait studios is nearest you. Blanc Studios photographers, members of Professional Photographers of America. And Dottie's Bridal and Formal Wear. For special occasions in your life, choose Dottie's Bridal and Formal Wear in downtown Clinton. Dottie's is your choice for weddings, proms, and parties. Step into Dottie's today and step out in style. and SBC Yahoo DSL. Welcome back. Start of the second quarter. Clinton leading 7-0, but Wagoner has a drive going. But a big play here. It's 3rd and 5 at about the Clinton 25-yard line. They need to get to the 20. It's been a ground game on this drive for the most part, with the exception of one pass. It's a run again. This time Parker is stacked up as he gets maybe a yard up to about the 24-yard line. So it's going to be 4th and 4. And we may find out how good of a kicker Daniel Brown is for Wagoner. Got the wind behind him. It looked like they're going to bring out the kick. It looked like they're going to go for this.
You know, that was a good job by Wagoner right there. They slanted right to the fullback and were able to get the big fullback before it could get any momentum going. They stopped him for very little gain.
And you see the crowd getting into this. It's a 4th and 4 for a first down. Let's see what they come up with. Catcher dropping back, and the ball is knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Catcher dropped back, was looking for his target.
Yeah, right here you look at Hans Hansley, Ketchner going back, and he tries to throw the ball, and the big defensive lineman deflects it, and you have no chance of getting it.
Let's go down the field to Jeff.
Real quick, guys, I can let you know, too, if that ball had not been deflected, his receiver was wide open. That ball was coming right towards us, so it's a good thing it was deflected. Back up to you guys.
Well, and Everett Shaver was the guy he was trying to hit, number 20 there, and he was running a slant route. But good job by the Clinton defensive front to bat that one down. So a good drive. Nets no points for Wagoner. And now Clinton will take over at their own 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Grant Phillips out wide left for Clinton. The running backs, Cameron Glad. And it looks like that maybe Antonio Hudlin in there now running back. Axis no, it's still McBrayer. He takes a toss sweep to the 25, 30, up 35.
Ball's out.
We got a fumble. We got a fumble. Let's see where it goes. The officials trying to unpile, and Wagoner has it.
Yeah.
McBrayer had a nice gain there on a toss sweep to the right side, but it popped out at the end, and Wagoner recovers.
McBrayer did a good job. He tried to cut it back to the middle of the field. After he got down the sideline, he tried to cut it back to the middle of the field, and the linebackers were pursuing, and they came and they hit him, and he coughed up the ball, and that gives Wagoner great field position here to see if now they can get this, punch this in and get a tie score in the second quarter.
Sean Ballard causing the fumble there for Wagoner, and they get a golden opportunity to see if they can tie this game back up. 1st and 10 at the Clinton 36-yard line. Toss sweep coming around, and good defense by the Clinton front as they stack up Julian Sherman for a loss. Garrett Casper on the tackle there, and Sherman never got back to the line of scrimmage on that occasion, just coming around in motion. They've run that play a few times, so he loses a couple. It's going to be 2nd and 12.
Yeah, look at the first quarter stats. 53 yards rushing for Wagoner and 55 for Clinton.
Clinton able to put points on the board with their one drive. Let's see what Wagoner does here. 2nd and 12.
Yeah.
And we've got flags all over the place on that. Let's see. I don't know if that play was blown dead or not.
Yeah, Julian Sherman, number 2, was in motion, and he broke up toward the line of scrimmage and ran his route before the ball was snapped. And that's
Illegal motion on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty if they accept it.
So motion there, and looking at Sherman on that last play, he was motioning like somebody had missed an assignment, and he may have been thinking about the previous play, because he looked like he was kind of upset on that toss sweep that he took. Somebody may have missed a block or something, and he may have been thinking about that play instead of the play he should have been thinking about.
Well, you have to have a short memory in football. You can't be fussing about the play that happened before and all the things. You got to be able to play the play at this time, and Sherman's got to learn that no matter what happened to play before, he's still an important cog in this particular play that they were trying to run.
So they march him back 5 yards. Now it's going to be 2nd and 17. See what they come up with here. This would look like a passing situation, but it's a draw to Parker looking for room. Doesn't find any. He finds the arms of number 78 in that defensive front.
Got a flag.
That was Otha Douglas on the tackle, a sophomore defensive tackle. 6 foot 305, big guy.
Yep, got a late flag in there. I'm not sure what it...
We have a dead ball, personal foul, offense, 15-yard penalty.
A personal foul there against Wagner. They're going to march him back 15 more. So this drive not going the way they would like after recovering the fumble at the Clinton 36. A couple minus plays, some penalties, and they suddenly find themselves at their own 41.
Yeah, when you're a running team, you don't want to get in these types of situations because you don't spend enough time working on deep passing. You spend all your time on the blocking. So it puts them in a tough situation. The only good thing is they have the wind to their back.
And that was a dead ball foul, so that down counted. So it's now 3rd and 33. The catcher's going to drop back. He's going to go deep, looking for a post route. It's going to be picked off there. Pass is picked off. It looked like Chris Pearson on the pick.
No, the official gave it to the offense. Now, if they both caught it together, the offense gets the ruling.
Let's look at it here. Let's see what happened here.
Let's see what we got. Quarterback going back. He's got play action fake. He throws the ball. He puts it up in the air, puts a lot of air under it. Both players going up. It looks like Clinton. Yeah, they both, yeah.
It's pretty close.
It's pretty close. Pretty close.
Looked like Pearson may have had more of it, but...
He was in better position, which makes it look like he could catch it easier. But if both hands are on the ball, then the ball does go to the offensive team.
Kind of like in baseball, tie goes to the runner.
Right.
Tie goes to the receiver. So in any case, a 3rd and 33, they picked it up. No problem.
Good job by our camera crew to help us decipher that particular controversial play.
So first down at the 24-yard line. Handoff to Richardson. He gets up to about the 19-yard line. Actually, that's Darrell Parker, I guess, number 2.
Yeah, they're changing them around down there, partner, so we got to keep our eyes open. I've already made a couple of mistakes this afternoon.
So he picks up a couple yards to about the 19. That's going to be 2nd and about 7 for first down.
They're trying to run right at those linebackers. When they run that isolation play, they want to put the fullback on the linebacker, and the Clinton linebackers are pretty good. Number 10 for Clinton, we previewed him, Braden Lockhart. He's a good high school linebacker.
It's Parker again to the left side. Maybe gets a yard up to about maybe the 18.
I'm going to say this time and time again. Clinton only gives up 6 points a game. That's not very many. For the whole season, their average defensive points against them is 6. So for someone to get more than 1 touchdown against this strong defense, very well coached, it's a chore.
Well, Piedmont, Weatherford, Miami, and Glenpool, the only teams, they've all scored 14. That's the most they've given up all season. A little inside route, the ball in the air, and this one is picked off. He was trying to hit Ernest Shaver. He couldn't hang on to it, so Pearson gets his pick. He said, I didn't get the last one, but I got this one. Chris Pearson.
Yeah, that was a timing route, just a little hitch route. The receiver turned. When the receiver turned, he didn't actually, this ball's thrown pretty well. It hits the receiver right on the shoulder pad. When that receiver turns, he has to have his hands up expecting the ball because that ball's thrown before he turns, so he doesn't have time to locate it. He didn't locate it. The ball hit him on the shoulders, popped up. Clinton gets the interception. Stops the drive.
So 2 drives deep in Clinton territory for Wagner results in no points. We'll see if that hurts them later in this ball game. As it is, Clinton has it 1st and 10 at their own 10. 8:20 to go here in the second quarter. They lead 7-0. Toss sweep. Looking for running room on the left side. This is Hudlin this time, and actually that's Pearson. Oh, that is Hudlin.
That's Hudlin. Antonio Hudlin, number 6. Yeah, they're changing him, and we're way up here. But that was Hudlin that time, and he really didn't get tackled. He got more tripped up than he got tackled. He was trying to run, and there was a pile there, and he just got his legs caught in the pile and went down to the ground. He's a freshman, and Glad is a sophomore. those guys are going to be playing a lot of football for Clinton over the next couple of years.
Well, and they list him 5'6", 140. But boy, he runs a lot bigger than that.
Oh, he does.
He's a heck of a back, over 800 yards rushing coming into this ball game. And Hansley, though, rolling out right, looking for a receiver. He's got a receiver, 30, 35, out at about the 38-yard line as Ans Hansley hits his man, Tanner Jones, tight end, 6'2", 220.
Yeah, Tanner Jones ran a crossing route. That time, Ans Hansley was able to make the fake. It's a bootleg. He runs out to the flat. If the defense comes up, there's an open area. He finds Tanner Jones open in the vacated area. Jones catches the ball, gets him out of the hole. That's their first pass, I believe.
Yeah, I believe you are right. That is, and that's a big one to pick up. As the ball, the game takes him out to about the 39-yard line, 1st and 10.
Nice catch by Tanner Jones. You know, he's a 6'2", 220-pound big high school receiver.
Long count here. They give it to Glad. He's over the 40, 45 is Cameron Glad. Tell you what, if they start completing passes with this running game they've got going, this offense may be unstoppable.
Well, you know, they won't complete a lot of passes. They don't want to pass. They want to run the ball, and they'll only pass when you get a little bit too nosy and want to come up and crowd that line of scrimmage, as they did on the previous play.
He picked up about 6 on that carry. I formation. Handoff to Hudlin, looking for room on the outside. Does not get away from a tackle, but we got flags, and I think we got a face mask.
Yeah, I think it's a face mask as well. The corner came up to make the tackle, and in doing so, he got his hand around the face mask. I'm not sure if it's a flagrant one. We'll let the officials sort that out, but it was some type of face mask call, I believe.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
And that's a personal foul they called, so this is going to be a big 15-yard variety. So this will take them deep inside Wagner territory. And I'll tell you what, Hudlin's one of those backs. He's so quick and fast. You're just trying to grab anything to get him down.
Yeah.
And that time they got a face mask, and it's the 15-yard variety. So you tacked it on to the end of the run.
I went down before the game on the field, and he is not a very thick kid. He is 145, 150-pound running back.
He runs big, though.
No, he runs very well.
1st and 10 at the Wagner 38-yard line. Clinton on the march again. They lead 7-0 here in the second quarter. It's Glad up the middle. And this time they corral him. Maybe he gets a yard. Good defense there by the Wagner front.
Both quarterbacks come to the line of scrimmage and check the defense. The coaches call the play, Myron. The quarterbacks come to the line of scrimmage, and because they have 2 tight ends, they can run either play. They can run the play either way. And the quarterbacks look, they count, and if they got 6 guys on this side and 5 over here, they're going to run over here. If they got 6 on this side and 5 over here, then they're going to run over there. So they count, and you only have 11 players, so they got to have 5 on one side, 6 on the other side, and they run to the 5 almost every time. Both quarterbacks are doing the same thing, calling the play at the line of scrimmage.
We've got a timeout. Clinton takes this one. 5:34 left in the second quarter. And they're facing a 2nd and about 8. We're going to hit a timeout as well. We're back with more from Owen Field right after this.
This gingerbread blast tastes just like real gingerbread men.
I know.
Gingerbread men. You never hear of gingerbread women.
That's true.
That'd be a tough little life, being a gingerbread man.
Boring.
At least as humans, we have a shot at meeting a girl.
Yeah, on paper.
Right. Criminy, we live like gingerbread men.
We do.
Gingerbread Blast, new at Sonic. It's your favorite holiday cookie, crumbled into a delicious frozen treat. Sonic's new Gingerbread Blast. Buy a reloadable My Sonic card today and give the gift of great food.
Today's game brought to you in part by Interbank in Clinton, where the lobby and drive-thru are open through Friday, Monday through Friday, 7 to 7 from Interbank in Clinton. Go Red Tornadoes. And at Integris Clinton Regional Hospital, we offer a variety of areas in which we can better serve you. You'll find a complete set of services of every kind for patients and their family. Integris Clinton Regional Hospital, the most challenging healing. And Bar S Foods. Bar S Foods proudly supports the Clinton Red Tornadoes in their quest for another state football championship. Bar S Foods and Clinton High School, a winning combination. All right, we're back to live action here as Clinton took that timeout. Let's see what they come up with. It's second and about 8 for first down. They are at the Wagoner 37-yard line.
For most teams, this is a passing situation. 8 yards, second down. But the Clinton comes out 2 tight ends, so they can do that check with me.
They do pass it this time. And Hansler, a little bit of pressure, rolling right, throws it. It's going to be incomplete as he was trying to hit his man Tanner Jones, but he was well covered.
Well, a great job by Wagoner on that particular defensive call. They ran a blitz. They brought the linebacker. They covered the guard and the nose guard, and they brought the linebacker in between them where they had where they couldn't get a blocker on him, and he chased Hansley out of the pocket and made him be very ineffective with that particular throw.
So it's going to be remaining third and 8, and let's see if they go back to the air. It's been a fast first half with all the running. We got 3 receivers in here this time, so they're going to throw this one. It's a screen, and it's underthrown. He was trying to hit Tanner Jones again, but that one was underthrown.
Yeah, you know, let me tell you something about practicing. If you run the ball 90% of the time, then you should practice running the ball 90% of the time. And that means you only have 10% of the time to work on your screens and your draws and your passing. If you throw the ball 50% of the time and you run it 50% of the time, then you need to split your practice time. These teams run the football so well that you know they spend a lot of time practicing running the football, and in doing that they don't have much time to work on screens and downfield passing as most teams that throw a lot.
Cameron Glad, the punter. Julian Sherman is deep, and he's going to take it at about the 6, 10, stacked up, stopped at about the 8-yard line, and I'm wondering if they would have rather him let that one roll into the end zone possibly.
Yeah, and the old rule that if the ball is inside the 10-yard line, you're better off letting it roll to the goal line than taking a chance of picking it up.
In any case, they're going to be inside their own 15-yard line at about the 13, and Wagoner will take over. They've had some success running the football, but have not been able to complete the drives and get to the end zone.
Clinton seems to come up with 1 out of every 3 defensive plays where they get to stop on Wagoner.
Man in motion. It's a toss sweep. 15. Parker gets up to about the 21-yard line. Nice gain on first down.
Yeah, very nice. That's a good play. They ran the sweep into the boundary. I think the blocking was very strong at the point of attack. I saw some bodies. Watch the quarterback here, number 4. He makes the pitch, and then he's supposed to go in there and just cut off some of those backside pursuits down the line linemen so that they don't get into the flow of the pursuit to help tackle the running back.
Wagner's been victimized by some penalties here. 3 for 35. Clinton is yet to get a yellow flag. Second and about 2 for a first down. They give it to Richardson, the fullback. He gets close. This may depend on the mark as to whether or not he gets that first down.
I think they gave it to him. Looked like he got a pretty friendly mark there.
I believe you're right.
No, official called it.
So they'll move the chains. 4:31 to go here. And unless they get some big plays, you wonder if they have enough time to go 4 and 5 all the way down the field.
You can't panic with 4:30 left in the second quarter, only down 7-0, and you're a predominantly running team. You can't panic at this time. Even though you have the wind at your back, you still got to work what you know you can do best.
This time it's Sherman taking the pitch, and he's cut down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard up to the 25. It's Julian Sherman.
The disadvantage of running that motion and running the toss out of it is everyone knows that you're going the other way. You can't stop and come back this way. You have to have a counter off, and I wouldn't be surprised if Wagoner ran a misdirection play here, fake Sherman going in motion and then run away from his motion, but it looks like they're lining up in a passing formation.
Second, and we'll call it 8. Catcher rolling right, still got it, looking for a receiver. He's got one, and it's overthrown, and one's I'll tell you what, I'm not quite sure if he was trying to hit the short man in front of his man deep.
He couldn't see the deep guy because he was still way far behind him. He was trying to hit the short guy. Ketchner just didn't get enough on it to get the ball to the short guy. I got too much on it to get the ball to the short guy and not enough on it to get it to the second receiver coming across the field. But the play was called correctly, and it was a good call, just wasn't executed the way you need to do.
Curtis Travis, the tight end, that the ball just sailed over his arm.
Right.
In any case, it's going to be third, and we'll call it a long 8, short 9. They've got to get to the 33. Catcher. He's going deep again. He's got a receiver open, and he can't come up with it.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
He could not come up with it.
Yeah, that was Sherman, too. They put Sherman at a slot position, and they ran him on a flag route. They ran a bootleg, the same play they ran last time, only this time instead of bringing somebody across the field, they ran somebody to the corner, to the flag, or to the corner, or to the outside, and the ball was thrown fairly well. It's just a couple inches too long for Sherman to grab it.
So that means Trey Edwards will be back to punt for Wagoner. Deep is Dwayne Barker, and it's blocked. It's blocked, and let's see, he picks it up, and they're going to score.
Yep. Scoop and score, that's what they did.
And there's our man, Braden Lockhart.
Yep.
Braden Lockhart, who we featured before the game, picks it up and runs it back, and Clinton takes a 13-0 lead.
Let's find out who blocked the punt. It was easy for Lockhart to pick it up. I think the punt was blocked by number 7, Grant Phillips, but let's take a look at it, see if we have it. You could tell they were coming for the block. They had 8 men on the line of scrimmage. The rest of the times when they were in punt return, they were playing a 5-2 defense. That time they loaded up, and they found the seam, and they got somebody through there, and I believe it was number 7. Grant Phillips, yeah.
Cameron Glad in for the extra point to give Clinton a 14-0 lead. And he got some pressure, but he got it up, and the kick is good.
Yeah.
So with 3:15 to go here in the second quarter, Clinton is now taking a 14-0 lead on Wagoner via the block punt.
Special teams.
Today's game brought to you in part by Remember the Frisco Conference Center in Clinton, Oklahoma for your next business meeting, social event, or trade show. Championship golf and local attractions are waiting for you at the Frisco Conference Center in Clinton. Call 580-323-7874. And Consumer Textile Corporation. CTC is your source for a complete line of linen and uniform rental, plus janitorial equipment and supplies. We provide Western Oklahoma with entrance mats, dust mops, aprons, towels, table linens, and much more. Call CTC at 1-800-926-5646. We deliver satisfaction. So Clinton now leads at 14-0, and that's got to be really disappointing for Coach Condick of Wagoner. I mean, even though you hadn't put any points on the board, you're only down a touchdown. Now you feel like you almost gave them one, and you're down 2 scores.
Well, special teams, special teams are very important, especially when you get into this level of football when you're playing for championships.
And there's a kick. It's a short one. Let's see who got it. I think Wagoner got it, but
Wagoner got it.
It was close. So they're going to get a good field position. Still 3:12 left here in the first half, as they're going to have the ball at their own. They're going to mark this at the 36-yard line.
Let's see what Wagoner decides now. With 3 minutes and 12 seconds left in the half, they don't have to be in their hurry-up offense, but they do need to move along quickly. In other words, they don't have to call a play at the line of scrimmage. They still have plenty of time, but they can't dilly-dally around.
Catcher rolling right, throwing back left, and I tell you what, it's complete. That's Parker. He gets up to about the 41 before being knocked out of bounds. But boy, that was awfully close.
Yeah, there were 2 people
being picked off.
Yeah.
Number 80 was there for Clinton. That's Seth Reed.
Yeah, here he is. He comes out now and he throws back, and watch right here. You got 2 people fighting for the ball. It's just that I guess it's Parker there that winds up with the reception and does a good job of pulling away and picking up 6 yards.
Yeah, it's actually Seth. That was actually Jordan Graft there on the defense for Clinton. But in any case, they do pick up about 6, maybe 7 yards. So a nice gain. They stop the clock by getting out of bounds. Another pass. This will complete up to about the 41-yard line. So that's going to be another first down.
That was just a little hitch route. They threw that earlier in the ball game, and the receiver turned around and hit him on the shoulder pads, and the ball popped into into a Clinton defensive back's hands. So it stopped the drive that Wagoner had going in earlier in the first quarter.
Everett Shaver there on the reception for Wagoner. First down at their own 42-yard line, or actually 47-yard line. Catcher dropping back again. Little pump and go. He's under pressure. Gets a nice block there. He's got some room here on the right side. Gets the midfield and then some. Breaks a tackle. Gets out of bounds.
Oh, late hit.
And there you see the yellow flag. Had some work there by Tristan Ketcher, the quarterback, as he bought some time and picked up some yards.
Yeah, as he was going out of bounds, he was being
ball.
tackled out of bounds.
Personal
and one
foul,
of the
hit out of bounds by the
defenders, it looked
defense.
like maybe it was number
15-yard
60,
penalty.
Graf Jordan coming through there and getting a little bit of a late hit on the quarterback while he was down going out of bounds.
Let's go down the field to Jeff.
I'm going to tell you that the white line here on the sideline. That's the warning line. That's why they called that flag. The QB, as you guys mentioned, was on this line. And when you get in a game like this, you kind of forget sometimes. And they hit him while he was on the line. That's why they threw the flag. Back up to you guys.
So now they are at the Clinton 29-yard line. Still 2:28 left before the half. So they got plenty of time. They can go back to their running game if they want. And they do. They hand it off to Parker, looking for room, not finding a whole lot. Gets maybe a yard or two up to about the 27, maybe the 26.
Clinton must spend a lot of time working on tackling, Myron, because all of their players are fairly good tacklers. You don't see very many Clinton players miss tackles when they're in position to make it. Some high school players aren't good at tackling, and even if they're in position, they can't bring down a good running back. Clinton seems to have a lot of players that are good at tackling.
Second, about 8. Sherman in motion. Catcher fakes the handoff, and Tanner Jones drops him in the backfield. He's got the football, but I think they're going to call him down, as Tanner Jones came in untouched just about and caught Tristan Ketcher in the backfield.
Yeah, they had a blitz coming from the strong side of the formation, the wide side of the formation. They ran the bootleg pass, and you see Tanner right there. He just gets Ketchner and just throws him down to the ground. The ball does come out, but I don't think it was a fumble. I think it was after he was down on the ground. Good defensive call by Clinton. You get the right call at the right time, makes this game easier.
So that was close on the fumble. As he was being stripped there on that replay, but in any case, the officials say he was down. And so now we've got a timeout. It's going to be third and about 15, call it 16, third and 16 for Wagoner. A big play for them, obviously. They would love to get some points on the board, even if it's just a field goal going into halftime.
Well, they're in a little bit of trouble right now. They got third down and 15. So most of the time, offenses that are in the I formation and like to run the football, they have to come up with a gadget type play, or they have to just throw it deep in hopes that they can out jump somebody. But we'll see what the coach Condit comes up with here to get himself out of this particular hole.
They picked up a 3rd and 33 earlier in the half. So it's definitely possible. They went to the air.
Oh yeah.
Shotgun formation. As he's, I guess, calling out some line assignments there. And looking deep. It's got a man, and it is complete.
Oh, my goodness.
It is complete.
Great catch.
To Shaver. Everett Shaver ran a great route there.
Yeah, McBrayer was covered him. Terrence McBrayer, number 20 for Clinton, was right there and went for the interception and almost got it, but just quite couldn't get his hands on it. And then the receiver winds up with the good catch and then pulls away to get it. Well, look at this right here. Nice throw, nice catch.
Catcher not known for his arm, but that had some zip on it. He came in completed 77 of 151 passes for just over 1,100 yards, but that was a nice throw and a nice catch by Shaver. They get the 3rd and 16, so it's 1st and 10 from the 20. That's Richardson. He pounds up to about the 16-yard line. We still got 109 to go and counting. Then they'll kind of pick up the pace a little bit here, but
yeah, now they got to start worrying about it. Now running the ball takes up a lot more time, so they got to get in and out of the huddle and maybe throw it or spike it if they do decide they want to run it again.
They've still got 1 timeout left. We're under a minute, 48 seconds and counting. Going to go to the air, catcher dropping back, rolling right, under some pressure. He throws to the end zone. Let's see what happens, and it is almost picked off, almost caught. It's incomplete.
Yeah, it's not a wise decision by Ketchner throwing the ball, running to his right, and throwing the ball back to the middle of the field because, as you well know, everybody tells you never want to throw across your body. That time he did. Was almost intercepted, and it was almost caught after the deflection on the interception. So he got away with it, stops the clock, gives them 37 seconds to decide what they want to do now.
Looked like he may have had Julian Sherman open earlier on the route. Wagner's called a timeout. That's their last. So with 37 seconds to go, they call a timeout. It's now 3rd and 7 for a first down. 3rd and 6 for a first down. So they can still get a first down, which will stop the clock again.
Must have made a decision that they're not going to kick a field goal, because if you decide you want to try the field goal, you don't use the timeout. So now everything seems to be predicated to the fact that they're going to throw the football and they're going to throw it towards the end zone. They could get the first down, stop the clock, and spike it, and then throw towards the end zone, but running the football is not an option now unless you wanted to save the timeout, use the timeout to bring your field goal kicker on the field and kick the points. Coaches make that decision previous to the series of plays that they're doing, and these coaches apparently have made the Wagner coaches have made the decision that they're going to throw the ball to the end zone.
Coach Kondick, in his 2nd year here at Wagner, you mentioned earlier they were 2-8 a year ago. This year, of course, they're 11-2 in the state championship game. His dad, 1983 at Broken Bow. First year, they go to the state championship game after being 2-8 the year before. Catcher dropping back, under pressure. He's going to be sacked. Dropped in the backfield, way back to the 26-yard line. That's number 52 in on the tackle for Clinton. That would be Paul Adams.
Yeah, Paul Adams. But, you know, Adams and Tanner Jones came through. Tanner Jones came through. He blitzed from the outside. He missed the tackle, and then Adams made the tackle. So they put a blitz on him knowing that they're going to go throw the ball downfield.
8 seconds to go. They're going to run a play here on 4th down. He throws to the end zone. It's going to be, well, not picked off nearly, but in any case, that was 4th down. As the field goal a little bit too long, so they went for it. Clinton holds. We still got 3 seconds left here in the first half, but it looks like they're going to have a 14-0 lead going to the break.
When you use your timeout and you're inside field goal range, that tells the defense with 30 seconds left and you use your timeout, you're 20 yards away or 22 yards away, that tells the defense that you're going to throw to the end zone. You don't have time to throw short. You don't have time to run. So you're either going to blitz them or you're going to drop way back. That time Clinton blitzed and they guessed right.
Here they take a knee, and that's going to end the first half as Clinton, halfway to another state championship, they lead Wagner 14-0 here at the break. Wagner's actually moved the football. They've been in Clinton territory 3 times, but they've come away with no points.
Yeah, they just can't seem to get the momentum to get the ball into the end zone. Clinton seems to come up with the right call on defense at the right time, and that's a knack that some coaches have. You get that through scouting and looking at opponents' films.
Let's go down the field to Jeff. He's got Coach Lee.
I do, guys. Myron and Coach, and we got 24 minutes now, or actually 30 minutes left to go, and it's 14-0, and you got to feel good about your first half, but you still got to do it again in the second half.
Well, I was happy with some things. We got to do a little bit better job on defense. We haven't let them have too many 3rd down conversions, and we got to do a better job there because they've had the ball too much.
Well, and you've been in this situation before. You know what you got to do to get that goal ball, and you just got to go tell the guys that we got to go do it, right?
Well, we got to do that, and then we got to be smart. They're pretty good.
They're pretty good. That's why they're here.
You bet.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. As you can tell, he's ready to go, and I will tell you, too, I was watching watching him down here on the sidelines. No matter what's going on the score, he's still coaching continuously, talking to the refs and everything. But anyway, he'll see what he does in the second half. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And we are at halftime. 14-0 Clinton leading Wagoner. We're going to hit our break. We'll come back on the other side. Got some halftime festivities for you. Back with more. You're watching KSBI TV, Oklahoma Sports Station.
To order a VHS or DVD copy of this or any game, please send a $25 check or money order with your name, address, and telephone number to KSBI TV, 1350 Southeast 82nd Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73149. Please specify which game you are ordering and if you would like a VHS or DVD.
Thomas Wire Rope. Our reputation is your guarantee. See us for all your wire rope, slings, rigging hardware, chain, cordage, fall protection, oil field drilling lines and parts, well parts and hardware, construction safety cables and hardware, and more. We also build custom assemblies to your needs. Thomas Wire Rope. Service starts here.
If you pay for your communication and entertainment services separately, you could be paying too much.
Unlike cable, SBC let me build a plan to fit my life at a cost that worked for me.
With cable, I couldn't get the services I wanted the way I wanted them.
Get the proven reliability of SBC local and long-distance service, digital satellite TV, and high-speed internet. Add Singular Wireless and the savings just get better. And right now, get high-speed internet and local phone service together, starting as low as $32 a month. Go online now.
SBC, now joined with AT&T.
When you produce nearly 1 million pounds of pet food a day, the need for a well-trained workforce is great. That's why Doan Pet Care in Clinton formed a partnership with Western Technology Center to train these needed workers. Western Technology Center provided Doan with everything from management development to high-tech skills training. Western Technology Center can help any business, large or small, with customized training programs.
Hello, pardon me. How's it going with your bank? Oh, what's the matter? Don't they pay attention to you anymore? Gee, that must really get to you. Bet you don't want to think about it anymore, do you? Probably makes you want to go ape. You should bank at Interbank. Banking that's good for you.
Today's game brought to you in part by Dottie's Bridal and Formal Wear. For special occasions in your life, choose Dottie's Bridal and Formal Wear in downtown Clinton. Dottie's is your choice for weddings, proms, and parties. Step into Dottie's today and step out in style. And Howell Chevrolet Nissan, where the Big Indian stands in Clinton. See all of our new and used inventory at howellnissan.com or call 1-800-396-HOWELL. Howell Chevrolet in Clinton, 1-800-396-HOWELL. And Southwest Interiors and Certified Travel, the store with more. From Hallmark cards and gifts to Wilton cake supplies and picture frames, you'll find it all at Southwest Interiors and Certified Travel, 521 Frisco Avenue in Clinton. And Blunk's, for all your photography needs. Visit the Blunk Studios website and check out our Christmas specials. See which of our 6 portrait studios is nearest you. Blunk Studios photographers, members of Professional Photographers of America. Let's go down on the field for some halftime festivities with the band. let's go down the field to Brady Bruce and Jeff. They got a special guest.
We do, guys. As a matter of fact, we got Brady and we got Ashley with us, and we did this again last night, but there's so much going on. I mean, the playoffs are happening. We're doing 4A, and you guys have to be happy about the partnership, I would think.
We're live, aren't we?
Yeah, we're live right now on the TV here.
Talking on my radio. You know, Ashley's got it going on. She's always there. Yeah, we're extremely happy, and I'm going to take these off. I was looking in the sun. We're extremely happy. My voice is gone right now, but you know, Clinton and Wagoner is being broadcast across nearly the entire state of Oklahoma right now. People all the way down to Lake Texoma can watch this game. People in Tulsa and Muskogee can watch this game. We have viewers in the Panhandle who can watch this game. And of course, not only local cable in Oklahoma City, but also cable outlets all across the state of Oklahoma. So, and not only that, but they can tap into SBC as well. So that's exciting.
Well, and we didn't really get to talk about too much yesterday, so let's use this time now. SBC, Yahoo DSL, all kinds of great specials. Christmas is just around the corner, and it's another great way, too, to use that high-speed internet to maybe even purchase more gifts.
Yeah, it is. You know, internet right now, internet shopping is far easier than going to the retail stores and dealing with the parking lots. But right now we have great packages on internet. We have great packages on our home networking stuff. Yesterday we talked about clutter-free giving. I'm kind of into that right now. I'm into the Fly Lady, Martha Silly, Sync Reflections thing. So if you're a mom with kids, you understand about the clutter. But this is a great gift for your family. Allows you to give a clutter-free gift and yet have it all year long. Super idea.
Well, it's very easy to get too, isn't it? Is there a number, a website they can go to?
Sure, 1-888-YOU-ASK-SBC is the easiest number I can think of, and they'll make you a great deal on what the services you have today as well as adding DSL.
You know, my parents, we have two of my boys with me today. We dropped the youngest one off because we'd have been chasing him all around, but they said they just switched over from cable in Oklahoma City. They were experiencing some interference on Cox Channel 9, which shouldn't be, by the way. If anyone has any of those problems, just call us. There should be no interference on Cox Channel 9. But anyway, they switched over through SBC and the whole bundle deal. I don't even have the bundle deal, but I guess that's pretty good stuff.
We can fix that.
They're going to talk about getting that taken care of. We're going to throw it back up to the booth.
All right, thanks, guys. We're at halftime. It's 14-0, Clinton leading Wagoner. We're going to hit a break. Back with more from the KSBI TV, SBC Yahoo DSL Game of the Week right after this.
There's a new home for high school sports in Oklahoma, KSBI TV. Now you don't have to have cable to watch your favorite high school team play statewide, over the air, on satellite, and on cable through KSBI TV's statewide network. Thanks to a new partnership between SBC Yahoo, OSSAA, and KSBI TV, you'll never miss a game. Catch the exclusive finals action today with the 3A title game when Casher Hall takes on Tuttle at 7 o'clock. Only on Oklahoma Sports Station, KSBI TV.
Betty, do my stripes make me look plump? Kind of brie-ish?
Are you still worried about that?
Not mayo material? Too much cheddar? Not enough jack?
Well, at least you're sharp.
Taco Mayo's new tamale melt. 2 hand-rolled tamales smothered with savory chili and cheddar jack cheese, then fresh broiled to perfection. That seems too fussy to some. We're sorry, but we won't be out-freshed.
Is orange my best color?
Get used to it, honey.
Taco Mayo. We won't be out-freshed.
If your fireplace is ready for a facelift or you are in the process of building and want a really beautiful fireplace, then Stone Creations is your answer. We specialize in cast stone fireplaces and have over 15 models to choose from. Stone Creations not only offers fireplace surrounds but has window and door surrounds to add that final touch to your home. Our cast stone products are the highest quality in our Oklahoma manufacture. Give us a call or come visit our showroom today, just 1 block west of I-35 and more at the corner of South 4th Street and Telephone Road. Stone Creations.
If you pay for your communication and entertainment services separately, you could be paying too much.
Unlike cable, SBC let me build a plan to fit my life at a cost that worked for me.
With cable, I couldn't get the services I wanted the way I wanted them.
The SBC family gives you more choices like the proven reliability of SBC local and long distance service, digital satellite TV, and high-speed internet, all for under $85 a month. Add Singular Wireless and the savings just get better. Go online now.
SBC, now joined with AT&T.
Today's game brought to you in part by Blancs. For all your photography needs, visit the Blanc Studios website and check out our Christmas specials. See which of our 6 portrait studios is nearest you. Blanc Studios photographers, members of Professional Photographers of America. Consumer Textile Corporation. CTC is your source for a complete line of linen and uniform rental, plus janitorial equipment and supplies. We provide Western Oklahoma with entrance mats, dust mops, aprons, towels, table linens, and much more. Call CTC at 1-800-926-5646. We deliver satisfaction. And PrimeVest. PrimeVest offers brokered certificates of deposit, mutual funds, retirement plans, and we can provide a free review of your current investment portfolio. Welcome back to live action. There you see some fans in the stands. They're enjoying this 4A final between Clinton and Wagoner. Red Tornadoes leading 14-0 over the Bulldogs. And, of course, something like this to pull this off, not just today but all season long, is very much a team thing, Coach. Well, not just you and I.
No, you know, for the normal game, our crew gets to most sites 7 hours before, and then they're there, 2 hours afterwards tearing down. But for this particular game, or this weekend, because of the playoff games, our crew has to come in a day before. Then they spend 7 or 8 hours here yesterday and another 7 or 8 or 10 hours here today. So a lot of time with a lot of dedicated people. And I can say this honestly, Myron, our staff, our crew is dedicated. There's 35 people it takes to put on one of these shows, and all of them work very hard and are very, very conscientious about what they're doing and how they're getting across the state.
Well, yeah, it takes a lot of planning. I mean, I know they came down earlier this week. Every time we know we're going somewhere, they have to show up days in advance, just kind of map out the site and figure out the best way to get things done. And the best thing that I can say is that they enjoy their work and they're very good at it. And so those kind of go hand in hand. If you like your work, you're usually good at it, and our crew certainly is that.
Called professionals.
Yeah,
they're professionals.
No doubt about that. And of course, the technical people like the directors, the audio folks, the camera crews. I'll tell you what, for this site, of course, this is at College Stadium, 84,000 seat stadium. They had to string like 5,000 feet of cable. I mean, just to get this to work. It's a lot of cable, folks.
It's a lot of cable.
And then they got to, of course, wrap it back up when we get done here after our game tonight. So a big pat on the back and a thank you for the crew who make all this go.
I say they're as good as the best and better than the rest.
No doubt, no doubt. We still got 8 minutes left here before the halftime ends. It's 14-0. Clinton leading Wagoner. We'll hit a break. Back with more right after this short one.
To order a VHS or DVD copy of this or any game, please send a $25 check or money order with your name, address, and telephone number to KSBI TV, 1350 Southeast 82nd Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73149. Please specify which game you are ordering and if you would like a VHS or DVD.
It's been a great year at the Baltimore Auto Group, and we're celebrating with our year-end clearance sales as we make room for 2006 inventory. Take $3,000 off MSRP on all 05 Infiniti G35s or an 05 Cadillac CTS for only $28,988 and an 06 Hummer H3 for only $27,988. The year's almost over, and so are these prices. Don't miss out on Baltimore's year-end clearance sale right now at all 11 locations, or visit us online at baltimore.com. Respectfully, Bob Moore.
Find your next home on the Century 21 All Points Real Estate Show. Every Saturday morning at 10:30 on Cable Channel 9 in Oklahoma City and over the air on Channel 52. The All Points Real Estate Show is brought to you by participating Century 21 Oklahoma City metro area brokers, Mark 5, Gold Castle, All Pro, and Gold Team. Don't miss it. Saturday mornings at 10:30. The Century 21 All Points Real Estate Show.
Shawnee Mall will be open extreme extended hours this holiday season for your shopping convenience. Weekdays starting Monday, December 5th, Shawnee Mall will open at 9 a.m. Beat the crowds and enjoy weekend shopping during extreme extended hours at Shawnee Mall. On Christmas Eve, we're open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Get ready. The after Christmas shopping starts on Monday, December 26th at 9 a.m. Beat the crowds this holiday season at Shawnee Mall. Check out our new Santa set and help create everlasting holiday memories. Shawnee Mall, your stores, your neighbors, your place.
Coming up Monday on Hello Oklahoma, we'll talk to an Oklahoma man who was abducted by bank robbers, shot in the head, and left for dead. He's going to share his amazing story of survival.
And you'll like this story. Research shows a cup of Joe might do more than give you a burst of energy. It actually could help your short-term memory. We'll tell you how.
Oh, good news. We'll also have the day's top news stories and all your weather details.
Be sure and watch Hello Oklahoma every weekday morning from 6:30 to 8 right here on KSBI.
Today's game brought to you in part by the Frisco Conference Center. Remember the Frisco Conference Center in Clinton for your next business meeting, social event, or trade show. Championship golf and local attractions are waiting for you at the Frisco Conference Center in Clinton. Call 580-323-7874. And SBC Yahoo DSL. We're at the halfway point, and Clinton's halfway to another state championship, Coach. And I tell you what, when we watched them this first half, Clinton, they just done what they always do.
Yeah, they're very consistent. You know, execution consistency is how I would tag Clinton. They execute the football very well, and they do it consistently. Some teams can execute once in a while, but they do it with great consistency, and because of that, they're able to take a lot of time off the clock and march down the field.
Here's the first half stats. Passing yards, Wagoner with the advantage, 76-29. Rushing yards, though, Clinton has the edge, 74-54. So total yards, 130. Wagoner actually more total yards, 130 yards to only 103 for Clinton. Penalties, 3 for 35 for Wagoner, 1 for 15 for Clinton. Turnovers, each have had 1. But surprising that you see Wagoner has a total yard edge, but the key stat, the scoreboard, Clinton's got that.
Right. You know, 14 points in a state championship game is not unsurmountable. And as you look at those stats, Clinton has had a little trouble stopping Wagoner on every series, but they seem to come up with the right call on very critical offensive and defensive calls. So Clinton's doing a good job of breaking the flow of what Wagner's trying to do.
Well, here's some notes you got what Wagoner has to do in the second half.
Yeah, Wagoner has to, they have to finish their drives. Wagoner has moved the ball, and as we saw by the stats, they have higher stats. They have to stop Clinton's running game. You know, Clinton runs inside, they run outside, they do a little bit of bootlegging, and then the other thing that Wagoner has to do is they have to continue to believe. They have to come out here like they still can win the state championship with a good second half effort.
Now, as far as Clinton, when they've got that lead, of course, 14-0, take a look what you think they've got.
Yeah, Clinton has to still continue to pound the ball. They got to keep Glad inside, and then they got to run their tailbacks on the perimeter and keep Wagner's defense off balance. They have to force Wagoner to throw the football. Wagoner has thrown some passes and completed them, but Clinton has been there in position to get some interceptions, and then don't celebrate too early. This game is long from being over. You still need to go out there and keep your nose to the grind.
Sound like a coach.
Yep, that's what you're talking about in halftime, I think.
Hey, let's go down the field of Brady Bruce.
Okay, we're live back here at Owen Field, and but you're going to have to pardon my voice. I'm losing it a little bit, but I'm going to let these little guys talk. I have 2 of my boys with me today. I've got, what's your name?
Justin.
Justin what? Justin
Bruce.
Justin Bruce. And your name?
Brandon Bruce.
Okay, and I guess Grammy and Granddad may be watching somewhere out there in Oklahoma. Do you want to say anything to them? Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
You want to tell Granddad to get well?
Get well. Get well.
You guys like this football game going on out here?
Yes.
You want to play football someday, Brand?
Yes.
What position do you think you can play?
I don't know.
You don't know? Something that catches the football or throws it?
Probably.
Yeah. What about you, big boy?
I don't know.
You like soccer, don't you? Well, what do you like best about being out here on this big field?
It's big.
It's big? What about you, big boy?
It is big.
It is big, isn't it? Well, they don't have much more to say, but they sure are fun. Again, this is all about the kids across the state of Oklahoma, all about the cheerleaders, the band, the football players, the fans, and we have some tremendous fans out here today. And again, I guess these guys said it pretty well. Granddad, get well, and we'll toss the ball back up to those guys right now.
All right, thanks, Brady. And surprising to say he didn't want to be a kicker like Dad. You know, you're a kicker.
Well, one of them's a soccer player, so he might turn out, he might be a kicker someday. His dad was a pretty good kicker. I've talked to people about Brady's kicking in high school, and he was a pretty good high school kicker.
Well, and Brady brings up a good point that these games are so much more than just about the teams. They're about the, as he mentioned, the bands and the cheerleaders, heck, the communities. We talked about the number of supporters these teams have brought, and that's certainly a big part of it.
Wagoner has a tremendous crowd here. I can't see all of Clinton because we're up so high and we're on the same side that Clinton's fans are sitting. But I can look across the way, and Wagoner has tremendous support here this afternoon to help cheer their Bulldogs onto a state championship.
Well, and you know, you went over some of your keys to the second half, and You know, if we look at what Wagner's been able to do, they have moved the football. They've got more yards. They've just not finished off drives, and they've gotten inside their own, deep inside the 20. They've not been able to finish off those drives.
Well, once again, you know, the difference between Wagner today and Clinton today is the execution consistency. You know, Wagner has been able to move the ball down the field and get their big score early. They got another score because of a turnover and, you know, the kicking game. And so it's execution consistency. When you're running the football, you have to be able to execute it, and you have to do it consistently, not just once in a while, get 4 yards or 8 yards, and then next time you're getting stopped at the line of scrimmage. You got to get that 3 and 4 yards every time when you line up in that I formation, and that's what both teams do. Clinton's doing a little better than Wagner is this afternoon.
Well, they certainly are, and the big punt block there at the end, because without that, it's a 7-0 ball game, and even though you're down, you say, hey, guys, we're only down 1 score, and if we just complete our drives, we're back in that. So that's why that big punt block was so important.
Well, Wagner had a chance. You know, they were down there, and they threw a little hitch route, hit the guy in the shoulders, and the defensive back intercepted the ball when they were looking at going in. And then they were down there with 4th, and at the end of the half, and they had a 4th down play and couldn't convert it, and they were on the 20-yard line trying to get the ball into the end zone. So the game's not over. It's just that right now Wagner has to. And you know what, Myron? I believe that the Clinton coaches and some of those Clinton players have been here before and understand that you have to focus maybe a little bit more and work a little bit harder than you do during the other playoff games, because this is for the big enchilada. This is for the gold ball. And I think Wagner is learning that. Hopefully they learned it in the first half and will be able to come out and execute a little more consistently than they did in the first half.
There you see some fans who are happy to be here, and Tristan Ketcher, the quarterback for Wagner, coming out as they're going to have not the second half coin toss, but basically kind of reestablish what's going to happen here. Clinton, actually Wagner won the first coin toss and deferred to the second half, so I'm sure they'll take the ball here. Here's some, take a look at some first half highlights of the game as well. If we can look at those and see some of the plays that have been made by both these two football teams, because they have gotten out. Let's go down the field before we do that. Let's go to Jeff. See what he's got for us.
Well, I tell you guys, I got Coach Condit with me in here, and 14-0. I mean, you still got a whole other game to play here, and I'm sure it's exactly what you were telling the guys in the locker room.
Oh yeah, we feel like we can definitely get back in the ball game. First half was Clinton football. They took advantage of our mistakes. We gave up the block punt, which was really the big play of the game. When they had the opportunity to go score, they did in the red zone, and we didn't. And right now, that's the difference in the game.
You have to be happy with some of your passing, though. That seemed to be working pretty well for you.
Yeah, our passing game's working fine, but unless you score, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good.
Exactly.
So, you know, the plan this half is to go ahead and finish those drives off with touchdowns and get back in it.
All right, I'm going to let you get over there and do that, okay? Thanks so much. Coach Condit there from Wagner, and back up to you guys in the booth.
Well, he's exactly right about how he feels about they didn't take advantage of their opportunities to get things done, and then the block punt giving Clinton a 2-touchdown lead in this ball game. But believing, you talked about that earlier, their guys got to believe they're still in this. And you don't get to this point, 11-2, and not have confidence in your skills. So I got to think they still believe.
Yeah, and they do. You know, 14 is nothing, you know, for a team that's made it to the championship game. It's when you're down by 4 and 5 touchdowns that you kind of sink in a little bit and still give it the good old college try, but you're not able to get it done and not able to convince yourself that you're going to get it done, especially against a team as good as Clinton. But this is a ball game that's far from being over, and I know Coach Condit is talked to his players about it. They need to come out the second half and do a good job. Let's take a look at some highlights. There's Glad going over for the touchdown. Look at the big old fullback. He's 230. He goes over the top like he's a very nimble type of guy walking off. He's very proud. That's the first touchdown of the game, and he's happy with it. This is one of the plays that I talk about, the consistency. Here you got Wagner's down there someplace around the 18-yard line. They throw a hitch route. The ball hits the receiver right in the shoulder pad. The ball pounces up in the air. The defensive back intercepts it. That stops the drive. Now it would be 7-7 if Wagner was able to convert on that particular play. And here's a chance where Wagner's trying to get off the hook here. They're trying to run a bootleg, and then you see the big defensive end, Tanner Jones coming across, and he's able to sack the quarterback. When I talk about the right play called at the right time, that was the right defense called against the play that Wagner had called. There might have been something in the scouting report there that Clinton had picked up on 3rd and long.
Well, certainly they've had their opportunities. The Bulldogs have. Now we'll see if they can get those to produce points for them here in the second half. We saw Coach Condit there on the halftime or coming out for the interview there with Jeff, and I mentioned the story with him and his dad early in the ball game.
His dad knew you.
Well, his dad is from used to coach at Broken Bow, which is in southeast Oklahoma, which is where I grew up. Not at Broken Bow, but went to Haywood High School, that part of the country. And his dad, of course, was a coach there in the early 80s. His dad, Tom, took Broken Bow to the state championship game in 1983, a year after Broken Bow had been 2-8. Well, Dale, his son, has done the same thing. A year after Wagner was 2-8 last season, here they are in the state championship game. So I guess like father, like son.
Who won? Did his father win?
Well, unfortunately, he didn't. If you're a Condic fan, because Broken Bow lost to Duncan 21-0 in the state finals that year. And Duncan had a really good option quarterback by the name of Quinn Grove. He went to the University of Arkansas and was a really good player.
You're so full of information.
Well, I remember all this stuff.
Yeah, you do. That's good. That's why you're good on the radio as well.
But, yeah, it's just like father, like son. So I'm sure his son wants to have a better result. Broken Bow actually did win a state championship 2 years later, 1985. So, but that's an interesting story from that standpoint. We're ready for the second half kickoff, and Cameron Glad will do the honors for Clinton. And deep for Wagner, we're going to have Julian Sherman. And ball's going to come down to 10, 15, 20, up to about the 25. Still going. That's moving the feet. Keep them going.
Yeah, right.
Everett Shaver there on the return gets up to about the, we'll call it the 30-yard line, and that's where Wagner will start their drive.
Well, Sherman's a good kickoff returner, so I think Clinton is purposely kicking the ball to Shaver so that they keep it out of Sherman's hands. But Shaver did a good job there returning the ball up to the 30-yard line.
And that's nice field position.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they can get their running game going. If you're Clinton, you want to, you want more of the same. More of the same what you did the first half. I formation. Receiver out to the right. Handoff to Richardson, the big fullback. He's churning. Gets about 7, maybe 8 yards. It's Paul Richardson.
You know what I call that play? That's the coach's halftime talk play. In other words, he got that fullback fired up. He told him, we're going to give you the ball the first play, and we're going to pound it up in there, and that fullback wouldn't go down. Take a look at how strong his legs are and how he kept his shoulders square and was still running the football, even when 2 or 3 of the Clinton defenders were on him.
Nice gain on first down. It sets up 2nd and 2, and that's an offensive coordinator's dream there, 2nd and 2. This time it's Parker looking for him on the right side, not finding much. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a half yard.
Yep, that's the strong defense that Clinton has. You know, once again, let's remember they're averaging less than 6 points given to their opponents a game. Their opponents have scored on an average for the year 6 points in all the games that they've played. So you don't have those kinds of numbers unless you have a defense that's very well coached, fundamentally sound, and they run to the football.
And we got an official stop.
Yeah, got a little equipment problem here.
It's Paul Adams who was in on that tackle. He has to come out.
Matt Lance going in for him.
You mentioned that Clinton defense, nobody scored more than 14 points on them all season. That's saying quite a bit. It's 3rd, about a yard for a first down. They need to get up to the 40 to keep this drive going. The handoff to Parker. He's going to get the first down and then some. Up to about the 45, the 47-yard line is Darrell Parker.
Well, that time Clinton was in a kind of a pinch defense where the defensive line were pinching in, trying to shut off that off-tackle play. And in doing so, Parker was able to see the pinch, and he broke it to the outside and was able to find enough room, broke a couple of tackles, and get more than the necessary yardage needed to move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line, their own 47-yard line. Wagner on the move here in the second half. Ultimate possession. Richardson, the big fullback. He gets into Clinton territory to the 49. That's a gain of about 4 yards.
Yeah, it looks like Wagner is up to the task. They're coming out. They're moving the ball right now methodically. They're going down the field. They're not greedy. They're not trying to throw the ball. They're running the football. They're coming off the line of scrimmage, and they're blowing into those defensive linemen for Clinton, and they're having some success once again.
Second down, 6 for a first down. The motion man is Sherman. He takes the pitch, cuts up inside to the 45, the 40, still going, 35, 30. 26-yard line is Julian Sherman. And that's a nice run.
Wow, I'll tell you what made that run go, number 17, Cordell Brown, comes and makes a crack block on a corner, knocks the corner off his feet. Let's see if we can get that on our right here. Knocks the corner off his feet, and then Sherman does the rest. Sherman is a good running back. Remember, he's rushed for over 1,000 yards this season, and there he shows that he has some ability to move the ball against Clinton's defense.
Down to the 26-yard line, 1st and 10. That's Richardson, the fullback. He gets a couple up to the 24-yard line. Paul Richardson, the big fullback, getting quite a few carries tonight as well.
Well, I once again, I got to tell you, that play was set up by Cordell Brown's block on the perimeter that got Sherman loose, and then Sherman did the rest on his own. Now they're down inside the 25-yard line, 2nd and 9.
They've been in this position before.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can complete the drive, get points on the board. Toss sweep to Parker to the right side, looking for room. He's going to be stacked up for a loss. So actually, they didn't call him down. He gets back to the 25. Tanner Jones was there. Looked like he had him stopped at the 26, but the knee didn't touch. So he gets a yard back up to the 25. He still loses a yard, though.
Every time that guy goes in motion now, Clinton is rotating towards that motion guy, and that gives them an extra man over at the point of attack. And so putting a man in motion is giving away which way they're going on the toss sweep. They need to come back with some type of counter or some type of misdirection.
It's going to be 3rd and we'll call it 3rd and 10. They've got to get down to about the 15-yard line to keep this drive going. Ketcher is going to throw for it. He's going up deep, and it is knocked away.
Yeah.
Knocked away there by Chris Pearson, who already has a pick in the game. And he knocks it away, so it's going to be 4th and 10. And I don't see a kicker coming out, so I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah, that was that play was very well defensed by Clinton. As I said earlier, you have to be consistent when you're running the football. You have to execute consistently. And if you look at Wagner, they have gone from the 30 to the 25, but now they got to make a play to get points on the scoreboard.
4th and 10. Wagner going for it. They are needing points. 7:44 to go here in the 3rd quarter, down 14-0. Ketcher dropping back. He throws. It's going to be almost picked off by Dwayne Barker. Actually, Terrence McBrayer there almost picking that one off.
Yeah.
So change of possession. We're going to hit a break. 7:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Back with more right after this.
Always nice to get a nice hot double mushroom Swiss burger in your hands, you know what I mean?
You know why it's so warm?
Because they just made it when we ordered it.
Mushrooms are a natural source of heat. They'll just burst right into flame. That's what causes forest fires.
I think forest fires are caused by people leaving out fires, a lot of dry wood sitting around.
Near a mushroom.
Double mushroom Swiss burger. New at Sonic. 2 patties, 2 slices of Swiss, all smothered in a savory mushroom sauce. Sonic's new double mushroom Swiss burger. Buy a reloadable My Sonic card today and give the gift of great food.
Today's game brought to you in part by Integra's Clinton Regional Hospital. At Integra's Clinton Regional Hospital, we offer a variety of areas in which we can better serve you. You'll find a complete set of services of every kind for patients and their families. Integra's Clinton Regional Hospital, the most challenging healing. And Howell Chevrolet Nissan, where the Big Indian stands in Clinton. See all of our new and used inventory at HowellNissan.com or call 1-800-396-HOWELL. Howell Chevrolet in Clinton, 1-800-396-HOWELL. And back to live action.
I need to go see that Indian. What is it, a big statue at Howell?
That's right there. You can't miss it. Can't miss it. Look, a lot of interesting things in Clinton. I've been up there a few times watching sporting events, either mainly football.
I'll tell you what, they did a job when we went up there. They were very very kind to us and our crew when we went to Clinton and did that game this year. And you could see the support in that community that helps rally these players to want to go on and play high school football and win championships.
A lot of good football players have gone through there down through the years. Of course, Trent Smith was a tight end who caught a pass or two on this very field. And Trent is currently on the practice squad at San Francisco in the NFL. He's been with Baltimore and San Francisco. He's on the practice squad right now. He's had some injury problems. 1st and 10, 25-yard line. Bear Ansley dropping back, going up top, and I'll tell you, a great catch by Grant Phillips. Grant Phillips stretched out for that one and catches the ball out to the 45-yard line.
That's a timing route. Boy, and you're right, Myron. What a great catch. Watch the throw. The ball is thrown way before number 7 makes his break. Grant Phillips does not make his break until after the ball is thrown. The ball is thrown in a good position, and he fingertips it and catches it.
Well, he's caught 44 passes, 712 yards, and has 7 touchdowns on the season. Those are Phillips' stats, so he is a primary target for Bear Ansley. 1st and 10 from the 45. The handoff picks up maybe a yard there. Antonio Hudlin on the carry there.
Yeah, that was a good job right there. You see Sherman come up, and he sticks his nose in there pretty well and takes on the fullback and buries the fullback and comes in and makes the tackle.
They give him a yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9. This time Glad takes a handoff, and he maybe gets a yard. So the running room not coming as easy here in these first couple of carries in the second half.
Well, I think that Clinton is a very good football team and probably has the best defense that Wagoner has gone against all year. But I think on the other side of it, I think Clinton is facing probably the best defense that they've faced all year long. Wagoner plays very good defense. They're only giving up 9 points a game. And right here, you know, they make Clinton work harder than I think Clinton's used to working to get their necessary yards.
Draw play to Antonio Hudlin. He's not going to get it. Gets up another couple yards just short of the 50, so they're going to have to punt. So a good defensive stand by Wagoner.
Both coaches before the game told me that they thought defense was the reason why they were here. Both coaches said the same thing. Our defense got us here. Our defense got us here. And so when you start thinking that way, you know that your defenses are strong and they're keeping the opponents from scoring a lot so that your offense doesn't have to score very many to win.
Cameron Glad is the punter. Deep, who will be punting for Clinton. Deep will be Julian Sherman for Wagoner. And they don't want him to get it. Nice punt. He's going to take it about the 15. Actually drops it and then falls right on it. Julian Sherman sending a scare through the Wagoner faithful's heart. But he gets it right back on it. We're going to hit another break. 5:20 left here in the third quarter. Clinton leading Wagoner 14-0. You're watching KSBI TV, Oklahoma Sports Station.
Oh, excellent. I'm going to get gingerbread blast.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good.
That's so cool for me. I'm a gingerbreaditarian.
You're a gingerbreaditarian?
Yeah, I only eat gingerbread. Gingerbread and gingerbread products, you know, food products and
That's
everything.
good, man. I'm glad you're taking a real good stance on that.
Yeah. Ooh, and tots. I'm also a tater totitarian.
Gingerbread Blast, new at Sonic. It's your favorite holiday cookie, crumbled into a delicious frozen treat. Sonic's new Gingerbread Blast. Buy a reloadable My Sonic card today and give the gift of great food.
Today's game brought to you in part by Consumer Textile Corporation. CTC is your source for a complete line of linen and uniform rental, plus janitorial equipment and supplies. We provide Western Oklahoma with entrance mats, dust mops, aprons, towels, table linens, and much more. Call CTC at 1-800-926-5646. We deliver satisfaction. And remember the Frisco Conference Center in Clinton for your next business meeting, social event, or trade show. Championship golf and local attractions are waiting for you at the Frisco Conference Center in Clinton. Call 580-323-7874. All right, we're back at it here, 14-0. Still third quarter, Clinton leading Wagoner. Clinton will take over at their own 10-yard line, and really it's not this portion of the field where they've had problems. They've moved the football. Just when they get in the red zone, they've kind of stalled out some drives. Time not a factor yet, but at some point it will be.
With some yardage here. Look at it, Wagner with 175 total offense. Clinton 127, but Clinton has a 14-0 lead.
And they got a nice carry here that's going to net a first down there. On 1st and 10, they pick up about 11. That was Darrell Parker. Garrett Casper on the tackle for Clinton. But they get a first down up to about the, I guess they're going to mark it at the 20-yard line. Just a hair past the 20.
If you notice that because the college hash marks are a little more narrow than the high school hash marks, the officials are setting the ball 2 yards from the hash mark to get the high school, to get to where the high school hash marks are. Remember, we're at Noble Stadium, and this is a college venue.
I want to remind you, you can see a replay of this game tomorrow morning at 10:30. 10:30 tomorrow morning, a replay of this game. Toss sweep. Julian Sherman getting virtually nothing there, so that's going to be 2nd and 10.
Good job by Clinton recognizing the fact that Sherman's coming in motion and they're sliding over there. The disadvantage of putting a guy in motion is that he's only got one way to go. When he's in the I formation, you can run the toss left and right. But when he's coming in motion, you're only limited to go one way, so you need some misdirection to keep people off of overflowing to the motion man.
2nd and 10. Catcher throwing out. He's got a completion to Parker. 25, 30. He's got a first down before being thrown down out of bounds, and we've got a flag on that, so looks like they're going to add about 15 yards on that. So a first down and then some.
Once again, we got Wagner moving the football. Now let's see if they can finish the deal. Let's see if they can get the points. The team that has the most yardage doesn't win the ball game. It's the team that has the most points. And right now, Wagner has more offensive statistics than Clinton does.
Late hit out of bounds.
Let's take a look at it here. The official signaling to it.
And they didn't get a personal foul. So that's going to move the ball up to midfield at the 50. We still got 4:04 left here in the third quarter, so a lot of time left in the ball game.
Plenty of time, partner.
You hear the fans, they're definitely in it. 1st and 10, midfield strike. Another toss sweep to Sherman. He cuts up, gets maybe 2 yards to about the 48. And their running backs get a lot of work. Julian Sherman, 188 carries coming to the ball game for 1,235 yards, 18 touchdowns. Parker, the other tailback, came in with 205 carries, 1,189 yards, 14 touchdowns. So their backs get a lot of work.
I'd like to see Wagner do a little misdirection just to keep Clinton off balance on that motion man coming to the formation side.
Catcher rolling right, looking for his man Shaver. It's going to be incomplete. Tell you what, it looked like had he led Shaver more to the middle of the field, he would have scored easily.
Well, you're exactly right. They have not thrown a pass down the middle of the field. And high school coaches and high school football teams don't like to throw the ball in there because most teams have a safety there. But with this cover 2 defense that you see Clinton playing, that's the place you got to try to attack them. Down the middle of the field. You're not going to get out to the flat, and you're not going to get to the corner as easily as you are down the middle of the field.
You saw a shot of Dwayne Barker, number 32 for Clinton. He's a ball hawk. He came in for this game with 12 picks on the season, 12 interceptions for him, so he's a playmaker. 3rd down and long, and they try a running play, and it's not going to net much. Darrell Parker lost a yard or 2 there, so they'll have to punt. Braden Lockhart on the tackle. He's scored a touchdown. Lockhart, he picked up that block punt and ran it back in the first half.
Once again, another drive that started off very positive for Wagner. Ended up with them at midfield and punting now back to Clinton's offense.
Trey Edwards is the punter for Wagner. Now we got a flag on the play. Let's see what the officials saw here.
I think when Clinton shifted back out of the punt rush, that one of the Wagner linemen moved. You can't move once you get your hand in the dirt. You got to keep still, and I think the shifting and the coming out of the punt block to the punt safe formation got Clinton a little bit jittery there.
Let's see what kind of punt Edwards gets off here, because if I look at the flags, it's got a little breeze that he's facing, wind coming out of the north, and that's the direction he's punting into. Snap's good, and the punt is knocked down, not very long. It's going to go roll to about the 30-yard line. We're going to hit a break, 2:28 to go here in the third quarter. Clinton continues to lead Wagoner 14-zip. You're watching KSBI TV, Oklahoma Sports Station.
It's been a great year at the Baltimore Auto Group, and we're celebrating with our year-end clearance sales as we make room for 2006 inventory. You'll find 05 GMC Yukon starting at only $25,988. And take $10,000 off an 05 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Save $6,000 on an 05 Nissan Titan King Cab, or lease an 06 Ford Explorer for only $286 a month. Don't miss out on Baltimore's year-end clearance sale right now at all 11 locations. Or visit us online at bobmore.com. Respectfully, Bob Moore.
You asked for it, and we're giving it to you. This fall, your wish is our command. With I Dream of Jeannie popping in every weekday at 4:30. Oklahoma native James Garner plays a wrongly accused ex-con who uses his connections to solve his own cases in the Rockford Files every weeknight at 9 o'clock.
Hey, Rockford, very funny. I ain't laughing. You're gonna get yours.
And Tom Selleck stars as Thomas Magnum, a private investigator who protects a multi-millionaire on his estate in Hawaii.
How are you with animals?
What kind of animals?
That kind.
Watch Magnum P.I. every weeknight at 10 o'clock. At 11 p.m., join the husband and wife team of Jennifer and Jonathan Hart as they solve murder cases.
You know what I'm going to do when this is all over?
What?
Burn my passport.
Plus Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, The Brady Bunch, Matlock, In the Heat of the Night, Quincy, and the A-Team can still be found in one place. KSBI TV, family television for Oklahoma.
Welcome back. Third quarter score, 14-0. Clinton leading Wagoner. 2:27 left in the third quarter. Clinton taking over on this drive at their own 30-yard line. You know, something I'm wondering, Antonio Hudlin doesn't start, but it seems like as the game goes on, he gets the majority of the carries, and here he is on his toss sweep to the left, trying to get outside. We've got a flag on the play. He picks up maybe 3 or 4 yards. But look, in our other game we did with Clinton, McBrayer started that game, but as the game went on, you start seeing more of Hudlin. That may be a pattern, I guess.
Well, you got an older and a younger player, and sometimes you want to play that older player, even though the younger player has a little more ability. But don't get me wrong, I'll tell you what, McBrayer is not a bad running back in himself. I just think that Antonio Hudlin is going to be a special player here before he graduates from Clinton High School.
The flag was against Clinton, so they're going to march them back. We had a hold on the play.
This is a big series for Wagoner. If they're going to make a move, they need to do something now. They got Clinton backed up. They got him in a long situation to get the first down. Let's see if they can come up with something.
So that's 1st and 20. Actually, 1st and 21. And it's Hudlin. I tell you, he breaks up the middle, 30, 35. He's got speed to burn, 50, midfield stripe. It's a foot race that he's not going to lose. Give him the touchdown. 82 yards, folks. Antonio Hudlin.
Do we have a flag?
And we've got another flag at the midfield stripe. Let's see what this one is. But I tell you what, the run was exciting, whether they call it back or not. He's something else.
Yeah, and they ran right at him. It was first and about 20, and I mean they ran right at him and got the blocks, and it looks like it's against Wagoner. It is. Let's see.
Just holding on the defense. That penalty will be enforced. Half the distance on the try. Touchdown.
And you saw defensive holding against Wagoner. Obviously, they refused that. So give him an 82-yard touchdown run, Antonio Hudlin.
You know, we just talked about him, and maybe he's a little upset that he's not playing more this afternoon. And so when they do put the ball in his belly, he decided I better take it all away and show the coaches that I should be out here and that I want to play more than McBrayer plays.
Well, guys, he's just a freshman, so you got 3 more years to watch him.
Do we know his 40 time? I mean, he looked like he had some speed there.
Yeah, he's fast enough, fast enough than everybody else.
Yeah, right. Uh-oh.
Bad snap. Cameron Glad was in for the extra point, so Barker, the holder, tries to pick it up, and he can't throw it. Now we've got a flag on the play. And let's see what the flag is.
I think a little face mask.
That was Dwayne Barker trying to make something out of nothing.
We have a dead ball, personal foul on the defense. It'll be applied on the kickoff.
And it says it on the kickoff, huh?
And so we got a personal foul, but they will assess it on the kickoff, as the coach just said. So it was against Wagoner. So basically that means Clinton will get to kick off. I mean, they may try a deep onside kick here or something.
Yeah, let's take a look, see what...
6 carries, 97 yards, 87 coming on that 1 carry.
That's pretty good for a freshman in a state championship game on a major college football stadium.
If you've not seen him play, the state's just been introduced to Antonio Hudlin.
Right. And he'll be there for a while, I believe.
Well, he's got 3 more years after this year. So
if he can catch up with his body, he needs to get a little bigger and stronger. You know, he needs to get in the weight room and start eating right and doing all the things that make him stronger. You know, if he's a 180-pounder by the time he's a senior and keeps the same skills that he shows as a freshman, he'll be talked about a great deal by a lot of coaches.
He came into this ball game 863 yards. Rushing on the season on just 125 carries.
With this, excuse me, Myron,
his long up to that point was 69 yards, so he's got big playability.
Yeah, I'd onside kick here, I'll be honest with you, with a 20-point lead, and I'd onside kick and take my chances.
Well, let's see what they do. They kick it away. That's Cameron Glad, and it's going to make to the end zone, so an automatic touchback. Wagoner will take over at their own 20.
You know, if you kick the ball into the end zone, they can't bring it out. And so if you line up normally and kick it to the end zone, you get the same spot. I would have tried for an onside kick, I think, you know. And even if they get the ball, they get it on the 35-yard line if Wagoner recovered it. And your defense has been playing well all day. And if you get the ball, then you got a chance to put the nail in the coffin and go in and score another touchdown and put it out of reach with only 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Let's see what Wagoner comes up with offensively. 1st and 10, their own 20. Catcher drops back. He hits his man on the outside there. I believe that's Everett Shaver there.
Yeah, Shaver does a good job of coming up. What you're trying to do is get one-on-one situation and hope that your receiver can use his arm to ward off the defender. And if you can break it, you got a touchdown. And if not, you ward him off until you keep running and pick up 7 or 8 yards. That time, Shaver did a good job of making a tackle.
It's going to be 2nd down, about 7 yards. He got about 3 there, so 2nd and 7. Handoff up the middle. Gets maybe a yard or 2. That's Parker up to the 26.
Yeah, that's a tough way to make a living going against that Clinton defense up inside because they're very well coached, strong. They run to the football, and Wagner's punching it out, but they're just not doing it with the same consistency that I know they've done throughout the rest of the season.
Obviously a big 3rd down now. They'd like to keep this drive going. We're in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. And Wagoner trails Clinton 20 to zip. 3rd and 5. Catcher dropping back, and it's almost picked off there. He was trying to hit Sherman, but Jordan Graff stepping in front of that one.
Yeah, Graff should have had that. You know, the ball was thrown, hit him right in the chest, I believe, and he should have made that interception. And if he would have, he might have had a chance to go in and score.
Well, we'll see why Jordan Graff plays in the line, though.
That's right.
He's tough, he's physical, but he's not known for having great hands. Daniel Brown punting for Wagoner. He's punting into the wind. Actually, it's Trey Edwards punting, and the ball's going to bounce backwards. And Clinton's going to get great field position at the Wagoner 42-yard line. There was Trey Edwards on the punt.
Yeah, they didn't get much yardage off that punt, maybe 12 or 13 yards difference in where the ball would have been. But still, you need to come up and make a stop now, or so you got to go start looking for turnovers. Now, remember, you need 3 scores. You got 38 seconds left in the third quarter, so now you got to start looking for turnovers. And if you're Clinton, your job is now to continue to do what you've been doing all game long. Don't get excited. Don't get nervous. Keep executing.
1st and 10, that's Glad in motion. And Hansley play action. He's under pressure, he's sacked. He is sacked there, and I'll tell you what, Hudlin may have missed a block there.
Well, I'm surprised at the call. You know, I knew they were going to throw the ball because of the formation and the motion that they were trying to get some mismatches with the secondary. But going back and throwing the ball when you got 38 seconds left, a little bit confusing to me. I think you continue to do what you've been doing. Don't have to throw the ball. Don't need to stop the clock. You don't need to throw an interception, and you don't need to take a sack.
All right, we're into the third quarter. Clinton leads at 20-0 over Wagoner. Let's go on the field of Brady Bruce.
Okay, boy, I'll tell you what, once again, this is the 3rd time I've been down here with the varsity cheer squad from Clinton, Oklahoma. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
What station do you watch for high school sports? My voice is a little bit tough right now. Let's go ahead and check out the weather. This is your third quarter weather update, and here you go, live from Lake Hefner. It's 46 degrees. Dew point is 27. Ladies, do you think it's a little chilly out here?
Yeah.
You guys are tough. I'm a sissy. It's 39 in Enid, 49 right now in Clinton, 46 in the Oklahoma City area. You see the cloud covering. Hey, there's some snow just north of Oklahoma right now. Think it's coming our way? Yeah, you're watching the wrong station. All right, we're going to go 56 degrees for today, 43 for your Sunday. And yeah, there is a little bit of rain trying to change over to some snow for late Sunday night, but then especially for Tuesday and Wednesday. Look at that, daytime high only 29. You like that kind of weather?
Yeah.
How about the football game? Is it going well? Yeah, you like the game? All right, they're having a hard time hearing my voice, but these ladies, as always, doing a great job. You guys take it back to the game. Give us a good woohoo.
Yeah, they're enjoying the game. Their team's winning 20-0 right now. So couldn't be better for them. And I'll tell you what, looking at forecast, it's going to be a low of 40. It's going to be a little bit chilly tonight for our 3A final, Tuttle and Cassia Hall.
I think that's going to be an outstanding game. I really do. I think those two teams are contenders, and both of them, I think the matchups are very consistent.
Well, we got a quarter left in this one. And Clinton has the football at the 50-yard line. 2nd and 18. And Hansley was sacked on the last play to end the third quarter. This time it's Hudlin taking the handoff, and he gets a couple yards straight up the middle to about the 48. And that's going to make it 3rd, about 16 for a first down.
Yeah, that was a big number 45 for Wagoner making the tackle there. Yeah, Daniel Thornburg did a good job of coming in and hitting the freshman running back and putting him down in his tracks.
And at this point, I'm sure you'll see Clinton. They won't be rushing out that huddle anytime. I mean, they got about 8 seconds on the play clock, so plenty of time to get this off. But they want this clock to run as much as possible. They're facing 3rd and 16. Hand off to Glad, the fullback, and he gets maybe a yard before he's stacked up, so they're going to have to punt.
No quitting Wagoner, is there? Look at them. I mean, they're swarming to the ball. That big old fullback, they had 3 or 4 players running to the ball and putting a helmet on them. They want the ball back. They know in order to win, they got to get the ball back and do something on offense.
Well, the guy that can get something done is the guy that is deep for Wagoner. That's Julian Sherman. Cameron Glad will be punting. He's the punter as well as the kicker, the starting fullback. He scored a touchdown. He's kicked an extra point. Actually kicked 2 extra points. Gets that punt off, and that's a good punt into the wind. And Sherman bobbles it again, picks it up, and gets back to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, Sherman was lucky to get it back. You know, he wants to run. He's anxious to get going because he knows that he wants his feet to get him out of trouble. And sometimes he doesn't concentrate and put that ball away, and he puts it on the ground. And it just, by the time he gets it picked up, he just got all that defense around him, and he's not able to make the play. If he could catch that ball cleanly, he might have a better chance of breaking something and making a big play.
Well, if you're Clinton, you've got the situation you want. You got them pinned deep, so if they're going to score, they're going to have to drive almost the length of the field, and that's going to eat up time off the clock unless they can get some big plays.
Remember, nobody scored more than twice against Clinton all year long. So Clinton, if they just do what they've been doing, they'll wind up winning the gold ball.
Well, they'll go for the big play, and we've got a flag on the play. It was picked off by Terrence McBrayer. Now we'll see if there's interference.
You know, you might have offensive pass interference there. We're up high, and I don't know.
Well, McBrayer thinks so because he's walking off the field. He thinks it's against Wagoner.
Yeah, and I do
we have interference on the offense. That penalty is declined. The ball's intercepted.
There you saw it. So it was offensive pass interference. So Terrence McBrayer gets the pick and gives Clinton the football right back.
You know, McBrayer's had a good game tonight. He's made some tackles. He's knocked down some passes, and he comes up with that interception, which puts Clinton at midfield, or a little better than midfield, and gives them an opportunity now to milk that clock some more and maybe even get some points.
And that was the big play that Wagoner was looking for, but not for the other team. They were going deep, trying to make a quick strike. And they're going to have to take some chances, obviously, on offense and defense. Let's see if that leads to big plays for the Clinton offense. Glad, the fullback, picks up a yard, maybe two, to the 41-yard line.
Let's see how much time's left on the clock when they snap the ball. If I'm correct, Coach Lee's probably got them schooled to now, with 10 minutes left in the game, to kind of keep an eye on the clock. Don't take a penalty, but just keep an eye on the clock. We don't need to hustle very much. 10, 9, 8.
Well, you can see him. He's just basically standing up over the center looking at that play clock.
That's coaching, Myron, I'll tell you, and that's why they win.
And they're going to take a timeout before it ran all the way out. So we're going to take a break as well. 9:46 left in the ball game. Clinton with a commanding 20-0 lead over Wagoner. Back with more right after this.
Southwestern Christian University in Bethany, where working adults are able to earn their college degree. If you are looking for a Christian adult environment and have 24 hours towards your degree, then call Southwestern Christian University today. 470-2636. Let us show you how to complete your goal of a college degree by attending class just one night a week. Southwestern Christian University in Bethany, where working adults are able to earn their college degree.
Today's game brought to you in part by Bar S Foods. Bar S Food proudly supports the Clinton Red Tornadoes in their quest for another state football championship. Bar S Foods and Clinton High School, a winning combination. And Southwest Interiors and Certified Travel, the store with more. From Hallmark cars and gifts to Wilton cake supplies and picture frames, you'll find it all at Southwest Interiors and Certified Travel, 521 Frisco Avenue in Clinton. All right, we're back at it, folks. 9:46 to go. And Clinton with the football. They're facing a 2nd and 8. As they're basically, they want to run some clock. If they score, that's great. But the clock is what they're playing right now. Let's see what they come up with here on this particular play. They've got, it's Grant Phillips wide out left. Single back in the backfield. Sherman looked like he's thinking about blitzing from his corner spot for Wagoner. And Hansley. Hands off to Hudlin to the right side, and he's stacked up there. Picked up maybe a yard. Looks like we got a flag on the play as well. Now you hate that if you're Clinton. I mean, that's stopping your clock.
Yeah, right.
Flags.
Daniel Thornburg was in on the tackle there and brought him down.
We have holding on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
And there you saw holding on the offense is the call, so that's going to march Clinton back 10 yards and going to put them on the other side of the 50. So they'll run that play over again.
It's not a time for Clinton to get careless, and we mentioned at halftime, don't celebrate too soon. 20 points in the fourth quarter seems unsurmountable, but it's not.
So now they're facing 2nd and 17. Hadlin goes in motion. Hansley dropping back. We've got a screen here. Another flag on the play. That's Cameron Glad with the reception into Wagner territory before being corralled there by Julian Sherman. Let's see what the flag is.
Number 25, Cameron Glad from Bear Anderson, please. Brought down by Julian. Yes, sir. Holding on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the flag. Still 2nd down.
We got another hold against Clinton. We've had a rash of flags for the last few plays.
Well, you know what? They start getting careless, and you got to focus, and you got to focus for the whole game and not just 3/4 of the game. You know, you never know in this game. I mean, stranger things have happened than somebody scoring 21 points in the last 9 minutes and 13 seconds. You know, a turnover here, a quick strike there, an onside kick, and the gold ball might go in a different direction.
Let's look at the penalty stats to see what we got here as far as the number tonight. Wagner 5 for 55 and Clinton 5 for 61. And Clinton's got a 3 on this pickle drive by the alone. So they're marching backwards. It's now 2nd and 32. Clinton. They're at their own 34. They need to get to the Wagner 34. Hand off to Cameron Glad, and he picks up a few yards. And you know, you might say, why you give it to your big fullback? But you know what? This guy came in with 886 yards rushing, and he's got a long run of 64. So he's got some speed himself.
Yeah. You know what? That's a play I would have run. The same play. I mean, you're not going to try to get the first down. It's almost impossible. So I'm going to run something so I can get a few yards closer and a few yards closer and punt the ball and see if they can go the length of the field. I'm not going to try to get careless and do something, throw the ball for an interception or get sacked.
3rd and 28. I formation. It's Glad again, and he drags the defender up to about the 46-yard line. He's well short of the first down, but that keeps the clock going, and they will send out the punting crew.
I like it. I like it, Coach Lee. That's what I would have done too. You already don't make 2 mistakes. Don't let 1 mistake cause you the 2nd mistake, and that's trying to gamble because you're trying to get back all that yardage. You're not worried about yardage right now. You're worried about time.
Well, the time is 7:46 and counting in the fourth quarter. Cameron Glad, the punter, in once again for Clinton, and Julian Sherman back to return for Wagner.
Here they come.
And a little pressure, but he gets it off, and that's another good punt. As Sherman takes it at his own 9, gets a block, 15, up to about the 19-yard line is Julian Sherman, but that was a tremendous punt there by Cameron Glad to pin Wagner deep in their own territory.
That was a very, very good punt in a pretty brisk win.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at the flags there.
Yeah, they're blowing.
And they're blowing pretty good, so that's a good job by Cameron Glad, who's had a pretty busy night himself. Coach Condick there, still coaching, still trying to get his guys going.
Sure.
This is our 4A final, Clinton versus Wagner. Another East versus West matchup. I formation, catcher the quarterback. Parker, the tailback, takes the handoff. Gets 5, maybe 6-yard line. 6 yards down to about the 26.
Wagner has to keep their eye on the clock now. They can't dilly-dally around. It's just the opposite of what Clinton wants to do. Clinton wants to milk the clock. Wagner wants to hurry up in and out of the huddle and get their plays called and start going.
Let's go down the field to Jeff.
Real quick, we'll try to get back to, in fact, go back to live action and come back to me in just a minute. Back up to you guys.
All right, we'll do that. It's going to be 2nd down and about 2 for a first down. It's Parker again, and he gets a run out to the outside. He's got the first down. He gets out of bounds to about the 32. Let's go back down to Jeff. Jeff?
Okay, guys, I just want to tell you that number 2 on Clinton's team, Tanner Jones, is playing with a separated shoulder. He's already blocked the punt. He was in on that tackle right there. I just thought that was an amazing story. They said he's been hurting for about 2 weeks with this separated shoulder, but they haven't done anything because he wants to play. I just thought that was incredible. Back up to you guys.
Well, it is, and it shows determination on his part because we've called his name a lot.
Yes, we have. He's had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was healthy.
I don't think Wagner wants to imagine that because he's been around the football a lot on defense and has also made some plays on the offensive end. So a good job on his part. They did get the first down, so that the 32. It's Parker again, looking for room, not finding any. Now he finds some. Good run by Parker. Only picks up about a yard, but good effort.
Well, he's fighting. You know, he understands what's at stake, and so getting that understanding, you're going to play a little bit harder, and it's going to take a crew to get you down. 1 or 2 guys isn't going to get you tackled in this situation now.
Well, Parker is just a sophomore, so he's got a couple more years. He's a pretty good-looking sophomore. Gave him about 2 yards. Catcher dropping back. He's looking deep. Can't find his man. Still scrambling. Block there. Catcher to the right. Throws. He's got a man open. He connects. And that's Julian Sherman. Julian Sherman gets the first down as catcher ran about 30 yards just trying to avoid the rush.
Yeah, that was all catcher there. He was being chased around, and he was able to maneuver around and get his lineman and fullback in position to make some blocks. Throws the ball downfield. They're in their hurry-up offense. Now they're in their what I call Big Ben offense, or beat the clock offense.
High snap over catcher's head. He's going to have to pick it up, and he does. But he's swarmed under. He loses from his own 46 back to about the 30. So that's about a 17-yard loss.
Yeah, that doesn't help your cause. You know, when you're fighting the clock and you're down by 20 points, to have a ball sail over your head and wind up with 17 yards going the other way.
Well, actually, I guess they put it to 30, so we'll call it 16. 16
and a half.
Close enough.
That's right.
It's 2nd and long. How about 2nd and 26? Catcher hit Shaver. He's trying to, he couldn't hang on to it. Tried to hit Everett Shaver rather, and ball just kind of slipped through his arms there.
I like the call. The execution just wasn't there. You know, a little slant, try to get in behind those linebackers, and then if you catch it, you're in the middle of the field, and that's where you want to try to attack this Clinton defense, in the middle of the field. You know, it's easy for me to say I'm sitting up here high and I can see all the open areas when they go back to throw the ball, but once the ball snapped, Clinton seems to give up the middle of the field and gives you the opportunity to try to throw the ball down the center.
3rd and 26. If you got a trick play, this might be where you want to try to use it, because this is going to be a tough down to pick up another high snap. Going on the post route to Shaver, and it's nearly picked off, nearly caught. It's incomplete.
Yeah, that time they did attack the middle of the field, and that time Clinton was in 3 deep. I think if he would have went to the other side of the field, Julian Sherman broke loose on a post pattern, which did get him into the middle of the field, but he went the opposite. We went to the other side, to the post pattern down the other side of the field.
Well, you'd love to maybe go for it, but it's 4th and 26, and you're backed up at your own 30.
Yeah,
you got to punt this.
Yeah, you got to punt it.
And that's why Trey Edwards is out there. He's, like I said, starting in the offensive line as well as the punter. Gets it off, and Barker's going to have a chance to return this one, his first really of the night. Looking for on the left. We got flags.
Yeah.
He swarmed under.
Blocked on the back of one of the covering team's defensive men.
Let's see, they're marching back.
Clinton played the first half, I think.
Get a block penalty in the back. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Block in the back.
Block in the back, yeah.
They'll march this back.
They played the first half with 1 penalty, and now in the second half they're kind of self-destructing, but they have such a nice lead, and right now Wagner's not able to put anything together.
We're going to hit a break. 4:43 here to go in the ball game. 20-0. Clinton leading Wagoner. Actually, we're going to keep it here. We're going to keep it here for live action. We're not going to take a break. So Clinton will take over. They're 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Expect to see a lot of running here. Or at least attempts to run. And it's Glad, the fullback. Gets about 2 on the right side there, up to about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, I just keep giving the ball to the big old fullback because, I mean, he might not break one and he might not get you a long touchdown run, but he'll make sure that the ball is secure and he'll make sure that clock keeps ticking away. And he does have some niftiness, even though he's 230 pounds. He'll make people miss you by using his footwork.
2nd and about 8 for a 1st down. Traditional I formation. We've seen that all day. Hudlin with the toss sweep up to the 25, 27. Picks up another couple of yards. And if you look at Clinton, Aaron Hansley is the quarterback, is a junior. Glad, the fullback, is a sophomore. Hudlin, the tailback, is a freshman. A couple of their offensive linemen are juniors. So they've got some guys coming back. We're going to hit a break. 3:49 to go in the ball game. Clinton on top of the commanding lead. Back with more in just a few.
It's been a great year at the Baltimore Auto Group, and we're celebrating with our year-end clearance sales as we make room for 2006 inventory. Get $4,500 off MSRP on any 06 Mazda Tribute V6. Save $6,000 off MSRP on all Dodge Grand Caravans. Or take home an 06 Saturn Ion for only $197 a month. The year's almost over, and so are these prices. Don't miss out on Baltimore's year-end clearance sale right now at all 11 locations. Or visit us online at bobmore.com. Respectfully, Bob Moore.
Today's game brought to you in part by Consumer Textile Corporation. CTC is your source for a complete line of linen and uniform rental, plus janitorial equipment and supplies. We provide Western Oklahoma with entrance mats, dust mops, aprons, towels, table linens, and much more. Call CTC at 1-800-926-5646. We deliver satisfaction. And Sonic. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Boy, you said that with some enthusiasm. Sonic good.
I've had a little Sonic in my life.
I've had a few Sonics myself.
In fact,
maybe
a whole
too
lot
many.
of Sonic.
Yeah, maybe too many.
3rd down, 5 to go for a 1st down. Clinton trying to run some clock is with 3:49 to go in the ball game. They lead 20-0 over Wagoner. And another toss sweep to Hudlin. And he does not get the 1st down, and he went out of bounds, and that's something he didn't want to do.
A freshman, you know, he's just learning the ball game. He's I don't know how old he is, but he can't be very old if he's still a freshman in high school. So he'll learn that as time goes on. I know Coach Lee in the offseason might be showing him this film and telling him, you know, when we're milking the clock, you got to stay in bounds.
Well, I mentioned the youth on the team on the offense. With Ann Hansley and Hudlin and Glad, and McBrayer will be back as well. A couple of their offensive linemen are underclassmen, juniors. Tanner Jones, who we talked about, he's just a junior. So they're going down to 3A next year. They'll have a lot of good players to return. There's the punt by Glad. And they're going to let it roll down to about the 37-yard line with 3:35 and 3:34 to go in the ball game. And that's where Wagoner will take over. But the youth on this Clinton team is pretty impressive. And like I said, they're going down to 3A. They're the 3rd smallest Class 4A school. So they're just barely 4A.
Well, I talked to the coaches about that before the game, and I said, how do you feel about moving down to 3A? And they said, well, it really doesn't matter, and we don't have much control over it. They said the advantage of moving down is that they'll find more teams that they can play. They have a hard time finding preseason games.
Yeah, it kind of happens when you're really good.
Yeah, right.
If they weren't good, I bet they wouldn't have any trouble. Screen pass, and nice catch by Sherman, but he's met by a host of Clinton players, so he's actually going to lose a yard, but that's a nice catch. 3:19 and counting.
I'll tell you a guy that's had a good night tonight. I think Terrence McBrayer is one of the guys that has made some plays both offensively and defensively tonight for the Red Tornadoes.
Well, yeah, he's a really good back. He's got over 600 yards rushing, 157 yards receiving, but you mentioned his work on defense at corner. He's got an interception. He's been around the ball all night long. As there you see Richardson stacked up at the line of scrimmage, making the tackle there for Clinton is number 74, John Paul Dixon. And he's just a 9th grader.
Yeah, but he's 301 pounds. He's just a 9th grader. He's 301 pounds according to the chart that I have here. My goodness gracious.
They just keep putting out the hits in Clinton.
I'm not sure back in the 70s when I was coaching high school I ever had anybody over 290. That's 8 years of coaching at some big high schools in Denver.
3rd and 13, catcher. Looks like a little inside screen to Shaver. He catches at the 40, 45, gets to the outside. First down and then some, up to about the 49-yard line before being corralled there by Dwayne Barker for Clinton, but they've got a first down.
You know, Everett Shaver's a good player as well, and he's only a sophomore. You know, you look at him, he's a sophomore. He's 5'9", 145 pounds, but a good player.
Let's look at our Taco Mayo play of the game. And what do you want to believe? How about Antonio Hudlin going 82 yards, some nice moves there, gets to the outside, and here it becomes a foot race.
Yeah, you knew it was over.
I don't think he's lost too many foot races. This is an 82-yard run by Antonio Hudlin, just a freshman. And this, folks, is our Taco Mayo play of the game. Back to live action. Catcher going deep, and it's through the hands of Julian Sherman.
Yeah, Sherman today hasn't done a good job of looking the ball, and he's dropped a couple of kickoffs or punts, you know, not fumbled them, but just as he catches them, drops them. And there, I think that was a catchable pass. He jumped up, but you know what, though? You look at him and you say, he's a running back that they're trying to get the ball to, and he doesn't spend a lot of time at practice doing these kinds of things. It's not doesn't look like it's a natural for him.
Yeah, they're just trying to get him in open space where he can make some guys miss and make a play for them. And so he and Parker have done that all season for them. This is Parker here with the carry. He gets about 5 yards, maybe 6, up to about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, Darrell Parker, he's another sophomore.
Yep, they've got some youth on Wagoner.
Another sophomore.
Yeah. Some good-looking young running backs we've seen the last couple of weeks with Hudlin here and Glad and some of the other guys, and then was raced out at Muskogee a week ago. Let's hit a break. 1:28 to go in the ball game. Clinton on top big. Back with more in just a few.
If you pay for your communication and entertainment services separately, you could be paying too much.
Unlike cable, SBC let me build a plan to fit my life at a cost that worked for me.
With cable, I couldn't get the services I wanted the way I wanted them.
Get the proven reliability of SBC local and long-distance service, digital satellite TV, and high-speed internet. Add Singular Wireless and the savings just get better. And right now, get high-speed internet and local phone service together, starting as low as $32 a month. Go online now.
SBC, now joined with AT&T.
Today's game brought to you in part by Dottie's Bridal and Formal Wear. For special occasions in your life, choose Dottie's Bridal and Formal Wear in downtown Clinton. Dottie's is your choice for weddings, proms, and parties. Step into Dottie's today and step out in style. And Taco Mayo. We won't be out fresh. Get an attitude for great Mexican food at Taco Mayo today. 1:28 to go in the ball game. And Clinton is looking at yet another state championship. Wagoner with the football. They'd like to get on the board here. They're just about in red zone territory at the 24-yard line.
Have kind of struggled down here most of the afternoon.
And things have gotten pretty tough here. Catcher dropping back under pressure. Gets away from one. A nice block there. He's got some room on the outside, the 20. Stopped at about, well, he goes forward to about the 15. Nice run by Tristan Ketcher, gets the first down. That's going to keep the drive going. 1:17 to go. They'll move the chain, stop the clock. And Wagner will see if they can get points on the board.
Yeah, I'd like to see Wagner. You know, you go through the whole season, you wind up at the championship game, you're playing for the 4A state championship. You hate to go out being shut out. So get something on the board, give your fans something to cheer about when you get that first score.
Clock moving, we're under a minute. Toss sweep to Sherman. To the left, cuts up the side, the 10, the 5. He may get in, he does get in. Julian Sherman gets Wagner on the board with a nice run around the left side.
He showed some determination there on that particular run. I mean, it was blocked fairly well, but he had to break a couple of tackles to get the last 3 or 4 yards, and he was able to do that.
Well, he did what you like to see your running backs do, and that's fall forward.
Yeah.
And got that last yard for the touchdown. And so Wagner gets on the board with 53 seconds to go in the ball game. Daniel Brown is in for the extra point. Daniel's got the red shoes working there. The kick is up. And the kick is good. 20-7. Clinton leading Wagner, but the Bulldogs get on the board. They're late, and that's nice to see. And now they will kick off, and I don't know if stranger things have happened in making up a 2-touchdown deficit with 53 seconds to go, but I guess we'll see an onside kick, you think?
Yeah, I would onside kick, but, you know, in arena football, you know, which I'm a little bit more familiar with over the last 7 or 8 years, you could score 3 more times. I mean, I've seen 5 touchdowns in 1 minute and 40 seconds in arena football. 5 touchdowns in 1 minute and 40 seconds. Unbelievable.
Well, bring out the net so they can kick the ball off the net or something, I guess.
That's right.
But you got to believe that Coach Lee there for Clinton is saying, guys, get ready for the onside. You saw Coach Condick there instructing his players. I'm sure they're looking. They'll have the hands team up there front.
Yep. They get that hands team out there. They get all those guys with small numbers. You see any big numbers out there? I don't see any 50s. I think I see a 60, or is that 80? They're all 10s and 9s and 8s, and they look like they're young guys, too. I think Coach has given all his younger players an opportunity to try to get a letter or something.
Yeah, you've got, I see Grant Phillips out there, Braden Lockhart.
Need to move over. Now they got guys over here, and the other team doesn't have anybody over here to get the onside kick.
And so they're going to onside it here. And this is always one of the more interesting things to see what kind of bounce the ball takes. There it goes, and looks like Clinton was able to cover it up pretty good. So they're going to take over. Grant Phillips with the recovery, and he's a receiver. He had that great diving catch in the third quarter.
All right. That's coaching. You get them in the right position. You know, you get your great receiver in the right position where you think they're going to onside kick. You get that through scouting reports. Sometimes it's hard to do because some teams don't onside kick that much. Victory formation.
Wagner has 1 timeout left. We'll see if they use it. As Hansley just takes the snap and downs it. Clock is running with 46 seconds. And they're not going to use it. They're going to let them run the clock out, looks like. And here's some comments in the background. Nice job, then. That will be with both sides in mind because both teams have had a really good season getting to this point. 26 seconds and counting. Another kneel down, and that will pretty much wrap the game up for Clinton. You see him watching the play clock to make sure he gets it off before that runs out. And that's going to do it, folks. We've got 12 seconds to go. It's just a matter of running that off. And you see the Clinton Red Tornadoes already taking the field. Coach Mike Lee and the Red Tornadoes add another gold ball to the already crowded trophy case in Clinton.
You take your hats off to the Red Tornadoes, but you got to look at the Bulldogs head coach, Dale Condick. comes from a coaching family. His father, a longtime high school coach here in Oklahoma. He comes into a program that was 2-8 last year, takes the team, brings them all the way to the state championship game. Fell a little bit short this afternoon, but what a tremendous job he did. He's got some good players coming back. I'm sure that we'll see Wagoner back into some playoffs in the very, very near future.
Well, they now have 14 championship trophies in Clinton. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Of course, they just got one last season. So they're going to have to make some more room in the trophy case. They win it 20-7 over Wagoner in a game where this is the second time we've done Clinton. And I'd always tell people they do what they do.
Yeah, right.
But they do it awfully well.
You're exactly right, partner. They are good. They have some nice players. You look at Glad, you look at their running back, Hudlin is going to be a great player. But they do it with execution. They do it with fundamentals and techniques. They have a system. Everybody knows the system. The coach has been there, been very successful. They're going to win a few more before before Coach Lee retires.
Let's go down the field where Jeff has Coach Mike Lee.
I do, and he's got another one, gold ball. It's got to feel nice.
Yeah, it does. We have great tradition at Clinton. Those guys got to take your hats off to them. They got a nice football team.
They really, and you know what I was going to say? We noticed that even though you guys were still up, you were still coaching just like you were like a 0-0 ball game.
Well, you better. I mean, I was worried there at the end. They get an onside kick. They still got a chance.
So it's got to feel nice. I mean, anything that for the folks that didn't make the trip that you want to say to you guys have an incredible fan base back home.
I mean, that's tradition at Clinton, so it's unbelievable. So it's fantastic.
So here you go, another one to put in the booth or the box back home, and for all the folks to help out.
I think that's 14 for the Red Tornadoes, and that's pretty good.
All right, we'll get in there and enjoy it. Okay,
right,
we're going to do the presentation in just a little bit. All right, guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Jeff, and happy coach there as they won it 20-7 over Wagoner. And if you look at some of their other scores this year, the closest game they have had, this is a 13-point spread today. They beat Weatherford 26-14. That's a 12-point spread. Every other game they've had has been virtually, last week they beat Glenpool by 10, 24-14. Nobody's got within a touchdown of them, Coach.
Well, and that's why they win the state champions 2 times in a row. And they do it with different kids. The consistent thing is the coaching staff and Coach Lee, and they have a program. They have a system, Myron. It's the system that wins there, not just the players. Yes, they have nice players, but even when those players move on, they're still going to continue to win because the coaches have a system. They understand practicing. They understand dedication. They understand the weight room. They understand how to run the offense, how important special teams are. They understand discipline. With the exception of a period there in the second half where they had 3 or 4 big penalties, they play very disciplined and they don't beat themselves.
Well, and something that we found out on our early trip up to Clinton earlier this season, and you see the players celebrating there. There's some little 5th grade guy over there, 4th grade, 6th grade, 8th grade. He's saying, I want to do that. And that's what the coach was talking about tradition. He says, I want to be a part of that. And it just kind of feeds off itself because kids are already working to be the next, Bear Ann's Hansley or Cameron Glad or whoever. They want to be the next guy in line to experience this.
Well, it's exciting to win the state championship, but to win it twice in a row is really an accomplishment because there's so many variables that you have to overcome. Injuries, graduation, weather. It's too many to name, but they did it. Coach Lee and his staff and his players, you tip your hat to them and you congratulate them. You give them the gold ball and say congratulations, man.
You saw Tanner Jones walking there. He's got the separated shoulder, but has not missed any time at all. And I'm sure that shoulder he doesn't even know it's hurt.
You know what? How do you play with a separated shoulder? That's a painful injury, and if you get hit on it the wrong way, it's going to, or if you raise it the wrong way, it's going to send shock waves throughout your body.
Yeah, you got to be tough, one thing, and trying to achieve a goal, which is what they've done. You see that with the gold ball and taking pictures, and they'll remember every one of these wins they've gotten this season. They're 14-0. They're undefeated this season as they go wire to wire and win the Class 4A state championship. Now, of course, on the other side, you've got Wagoner, and they're disappointed right now. They don't feel too good. They're not too happy. They didn't complete some drives and got a score here late. But they, too, will look back. I mean, they were 2-8 a year ago.
Right.
They were 2-8. You got a guy and their quarterback, Tristan Ketcher. This is his third year starting. He's got to experience the good side of playing athletics, which is winning and getting to this point in the season. And doesn't feel too good right now, but he'll look back along with his teammates, and they'll be pretty proud of the season they put together.
Well, that's the unfortunate thing about state championships. You got two teams out there battling. Both teams have done a lot to get to this point. One of them's going to go home with tears in their eyes. The other one's going to go home with the gold ball. You never know. You know, you wish it wouldn't happen that way, but somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. And but it's still a great season. Coach Condit, take our hats off to him for getting this program turned around. I expect him to be in many more playoff games throughout his young coaching career.
Well, and this is what athletics can teach you. I mean, I grew up playing sports, got athletes in my family, coaches in my family, and athletics teaches you how to deal with the good and the bad, and life lessons that we talk about all the time. And of course, it's easy to win, but you also got to know how to lose. And I see the coaching staff there talking to the Wagoner players, and I'm sure they're talking to them about that very thing and about the season as a whole. But this is a good part of what high school athletics teaches not only the players but the fans and everybody else who is involved and cheered for this team this season. So a good learning lesson. It's not just about books in school. Athletics plays its role as well.
Well said, partner.
Let's go down the field. Jeff has got a special guest.
Boy, do I ever. I've got the quarterback from Clinton and Bear. I'm not even going to try to say your last name. What's your last name?
Annis Hansley.
See, you did a much better job than I would have.
Yes, sir.
So how does it feel? You got a gold ball, buddy?
Wonderful. That's 3 in a row. Hopefully we can keep it going. Continue the tradition.
And that's you're dropping down to 3 in. What does that make? Is it change anything for you guys?
No, sir. It'll be the same competition. Everyone says it'll be easier, but there's great teams in 3A too, just like there is in 4A.
All right, now everybody in the State's watching you, and there's some folks who probably didn't make the trip from Clinton. Anything you want to say to them real quick?
Go Reds.
Go Reds. Thanks so much, Bear. We appreciate it. You can tell he's pumped. And I've got another one, Tanner Jones. We talked about Tanner just a moment ago. Tanner, come on over here. I'm going to put you on this side because I know that other arm's hurting just a little. Tell me, and we talked about even the guys, Myron and Coach in the booth were asking, how do you play with a separated shoulder?
These guys over here, I mean, my teammates, they're great. And the coach has been here and great training staff, and the doctors have been here all week. And without my teammates, we couldn't have done this today. And, I mean, hats off to Wagoner. They're a great football team, and they played hard.
Well, you had a great game, and I mean, with a busted shoulder and everything, you block a punch, you're in on some place, but the funny thing is you can't get your helmet on with both hands.
Yeah, the punt block, really, I mean, it's all those guys again. They free me up, and I just go and lay out, and I got lucky and got it. So had a good call on at the right time.
Well, congratulations on another gold ball to you.
Thank you.
Good game, buddy. He's trying to shake my hand. Good job, buddy. All right, we're going to throw it back up there. We're going to have some more coming your way, though.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And yeah, that shoulder doesn't bother him right now. He's too happy about what he just did. And, of course, he's like a lot of these guys playing both offense and defense and, made a big impact on both sides of the football.
Well, he's a good player, and he made a lot of plays. And, I'm amazed that a guy with a separated shoulder can break through and lay out and block a punt. I mean, that really, and remember now, I've coached a long time, so I've seen guys play with separated shoulders, and I've seen guys play with broken bones and all that. But usually you don't play with the great enthusiasm or the great effort that you play with when you're healthy, and that's why healthy players seem to play better. But here's a young man that today went out there and laid it all out on the line for a state championship, and felt that they needed him, and they did, and he comes up with a couple of big plays throughout the ballgame.
Yes, he did, and of course, Barry Annis Hansley, the quarterback, he'll be back next season, and all these guys mentioned the tradition, keeping the tradition going, and he's a happy camper right now, and it makes all the summer conditioning and the spring practices and the two-a-day workouts in the hot sun in July and August or whatever, this makes it all worthwhile when you get to this point.
Well, you're right, Myron. There's a lot of time that people that aren't familiar with football programs spend. And, it's not just during the season. It's in the off season as well.
Let's go down the field. Jeff has got Wagoner coach Dale Condict.
I do have Coach Condict with me, and you know, we were just standing here talking about you guys were able to move up and down, but as you mentioned, when Clinton got you inside the red zone, they were able to tighten down on you.
Yeah, they did to us what they do to a lot of teams. They capitalized on our mistakes, and when it was time to play defense in the red zone, they did so, and we didn't execute and put the ball in the end zone a couple times when we should have. And you know, I commend our guys for a great effort, but again, I want to congratulate Clinton on a game well played.
Well, it's been a great ride for you. I mean, let's talk about it. We've talked about it even in the pregame and stuff. You go 2-8 or 8 last year, and this year here you are standing here, and you know you're going to take a trophy home.
Yeah, we're taking the silver ball home, which is not what we came here to do. I think you can tell by the reaction of our kids that was not the plan. You know, they really expected to win this ball game, and I think they came here to win. Just the better team won today. Clinton's better than us, and they did the things they had to do today to win.
Something tells me though, in about 2 weeks you're going to start working on a game plan to be back here next year.
Yeah, we'll go right back to work. A lot of returning starters, a lot of guys excited about football in Wagoner, and yeah, there's great things on the horizon in Wagoner football.
Coach, thanks so much for taking time, and I'll let you get over there with the kids, okay?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. As you can tell, he is going to get back to work, and he's going to see himself probably right back here in the next year. We're going to throw back up the booth and get some more on you.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And, you know, he talks about returning starters. Just looking at their depth chart on defense. Their front four, 3 underclassmen, 2 sophomores, 1 junior. The linebacking core, they got a freshman starter, a junior. In the secondary, Wagoner has 2 sophomores starting. So that's a lot coming back on defense. The offensive line, you've got, 2, 3 underclassmen. We talked about Everett Shaver. He's just a sophomore, their receiver. They got to replace Tristan Ketcher. He was a senior. He is a senior, the quarterback. But Darrell Parker is a sophomore, the running back. So, yes, they've got a lot of players coming back, and they've tasted success. They're not going to go back to being a 2-8 team next season, that's for sure. Let's go back down on the field where Jeff has the quarterback, Tristan Ketcher.
I do, and Tristan's with me, and obviously the emotions of being in the state game here are on his face, as you can see. But, Tristan, you guys did play one heck of a game. I mean, you gave him everything you could.
Yeah, we came out, we played as hard as we could, you know. Just couldn't capitalize on some of the drives we put together, and we just, I don't know, came up a little short.
Well, you know, I mean, you guys did move the ball very well up. It's just when you got to the red zone, they seemed to kind of, you know, tighten down on you guys. Is that what happened out there?
Yeah, I mean, they have a great defense. You know, we knew that. We knew we had to move the ball, and we just didn't get the job done.
A lot of positive things, though, looking ahead for your team and stuff. I think you guys got a lot of possibilities, don't you?
Yeah, we got a lot of young players that's real good, you know, and we kind of set a foundation. So, you know, I hope to come out and give them a run for it next year.
Sounds good. We'll look for you here next year, all right?
All right.
I'll let you get back over there with the team. Again, as you can see it on his face, I mean, it's one of those deals that you have to have a winner and a loser, and they work so hard to get here. But, again, you can't take anything away from what they did to get here. Back up to you guys.
Well, and he mentioned setting a foundation. Like I said, this is his 3rd year to start, so he was part of that 2-8 team a year ago. So he has tasted the sweet part of success. And, you know, he's got to feel pretty good about that. He will at some point. Not right now, though. He's kind of disappointed.
Well, you know what they're doing? Wagoner is trying to build a program, and they talk about the foundation. And in order to build a good, solid program, you need a strong foundation. And I think Wagoner is headed in the direction that you see Clinton. Clinton has that strong foundation. They've got a lot of years of winning. They've got great community support. They got a good coaching staff. They get good athletes. And I think Wagoner, with Coach Condict there now, he will be able to execute a football program that might meet the same criteria that you see Clinton with.
Here's the stats, final stats from the game. Wagoner 76 yards passing, Clinton only 49. Rushing yards, real close. Wagoner with 142, Clinton with 169. The total yards, Wagoner actually outgains Clinton, 264 to 218. Penalties, pretty much even again, 5 for 55 for Wagoner, 6 for 71 for Clinton. And the turnovers, Wagoner had 2 to Clinton's 1. Like I said, Wagoner more yards, but bottom line, Clinton had more points, and they won their 14th state championship.
Pretty good job. Once again, you take your hats off to the Clinton Red Tornadoes for a job well done once again this season. And I expect to see them playing in a lot more state championships. As long as Coach Lee's there and he keeps that system going as he's got it going, they'll be in more state championships. He'll go down as one of the great coaches in Oklahoma history.
And there you see the flags. I'm standing like a steady breeze all day today. Both teams did a pretty good job dealing with that. Didn't really see a lot of situations where the wind affected either team, and I guess it's primarily because they run the football.
Yeah, right.
But the kicking game didn't really come into play today.
Well, you know, one of the things that impressed me was Glad. Glad can really, I mean, he's a good fullback. He's a great blocker. He's got great feet, great size, you know, sophomore. But he can kick the football. I mean, those punts, he punted a couple going into the wind, and it wasn't an easy thing to do because as we saw Wagoner, when they were trying to punt, they were getting 12 and 13 yards punts down the field going into the same wind that the Glad was booming them out of.
Yes, they were. And there you see the people here that make all this go. And, of course, we're not done today. We got
another one. And I'm glad. I'm excited.
Oh, man.
Take a little drink of water and a little rest here and look over some notes and get back here this evening.
All right. That's right. We've got a 3A final later on tonight. Coverage starting at 7 o'clock. The game kicking off at 7:30. The 3A final involving Tuttle and Cassia Hall. So we've got more football here on KSBI, Oklahoma's sports station. But until then, everybody enjoy your afternoon, and we'll see you back here at 7 o'clock on KSBI TV.